This is the Yes Network right here. Phantom Acts of Kindness hooking us up right here.
Yeah, he's excelled at every level. And they told this kid, hey, you have the opportunity to win the job in camp. So, like, you got to put Judge in this category. When you're talking about the most impressive season since, like, you got to put A-Rod. Like, format, this first year, the new format, the Beast of the East. The Yankees crushed the best division in baseball. McPherson, WFAN, on stage.
Hey, Keith Mack, man. Big fan.
You're her. All right, folks. Thanks for your patience here. Working on something. Usually I have the scoreboard here. I had to wait a minute. I'm still figuring the scoreboard right now. Also, I had to wait a minute because baby's sleeping. The baby is sleeping. Ball is short. Let's see if I can get this live assist scoreboard up in the chat. I see my people. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Let's see here. Save changes. Let's go back. All right, I think if I exit to get this scoreboard up, I'm going to be out of the stream. So we might just have to ride without for now. Or I'll just put the, like, be right back up. Because I do want to get that going. I've been working with Live on Assist. And shout out to Sean over there. I've done a couple with his assistants. And I'm like, you know, I want to take the training wheels off. I'm like, I want to do this one on my own today. So I'm figuring that out as people come in. There's a commercial right now, so no biggie. Shout out to Tommy Lugauer with the no biggie drop. Okay, I got the stream URL, stream key. Copy stream URL. Okay, folks. Be right back. Touchdown. Zach Charbonnet. I have Kenneth Walker in fantasy. I'm glad I didn't play him because they don't get him paid enough. But look at the Seahawks in their shiny new uniforms at home looking for revenge. Yo, thanks for waiting. I was trying to get the scoreboard up. It's a tricky little situation here. But let's see if it now goes to the correct score. And we'll get to people pulling up in the chat, of course. Let me see here. I'm like, where is this now? Do I got to go? Do I have to refresh this to get the... It should have the Seattle score now. Yeah, it says I'm live. All right, I'm there. I don't see the score bug changing, but that's fine. The whole point of this is to interact and to connect with y'all, you know? Even when baby's sleeping, and I'm pretty sure he just fell asleep, but I gotta double check that. Usually, like when I do the streams, I do the streams at 8:30. That is the good time to get it done. But my son's bedtime is 8, and sometimes he don't fall asleep right away. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he'll fall asleep and it'll be 8:15. I'm also setting up the TikTok live right now. And then, like, as some time passes, I can raise my voice. But I don't know if I'm raising my voice tonight. My wife was telling me how people in her office were getting the flu. And then as soon as I had that thought, you know, she's like, you got the flu shot? I'm like, nah, I don't have the flu shot. And then, like, that stuff creeps into your head. And I'm like, my nose is running today. I'm sneezing today. And now I got a headache. I'm like, yo, I'm not trying to get the flu right now. Oh, what? Nobody wants to have the flu. So, yeah. Anyway, man. Another live. I got a few things I want to kick to you guys. Talk about Seattle. Talk about these live streams, social media, Christmas time. You know, Christmas is in a week now. And like the days are flying by. In a week right now, it'll be Christmas night and you'll be donezo with another Christmas, and you'll be thinking about New Year's and another year of your life. Hold on, I'm trying to get centered for TikTok. All right, if I sit right here on TikTok, I'm good. And I think I'm centered here too. That's good enough. All right, here we go. In the chat over here. And I want to move this chat so that I'm looking more like right up here. Yeah, in the chat right here. Pam was first. Shout out to Pam. Always showing love. Appreciate Pam. Right here. What's up, Keith? What's up, Pam? You the best. You the greatest. Puka Nakua. Puka's another one we got to talk about, bro. What the hell was Puka on? Well, I know what he was on. Speaking of going live, he was on Aiden Ross's live stream, but he was wilding. What's up, Ray? Future in here. You're what up? Chris Gomez in here. What's good with you? Y'all know the throw in that. You're. What's goody? Seahawks out here looking like Oregon. Yeah. Did you guys see the Oregon Ducks uniforms that they're going to wear against James Madison University on Saturday? Tough. That is not making me feel good about the Dukes. I think they might get rolled. I done seen it before. Eugene, Oregon, that place is a tough place to play. Everybody that's a football fan has seen games over the years out there. I forget what their stadium is called, but I specifically remember 2 years ago, Shedeur Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes going out there and getting rolled, getting waxed. So it's a tough place to play, and JMU might be in over their heads, but you never know. I hope that they can compete. Ray is rocking with me. He said, no worries, brother. Yeah, a little bit of a delayed start just so my son could get to sleep without me talking over here. And so we could get the scoreboard up. But I already think I messed up the scoreboard, as a matter of fact. I'm looking at it now. I see I'm there. View stream. I gotta sync it. Let's see if I sync it. Does that put the score up correctly? Let's see. I gotta match the quarter to it's 5:05 in the quarter. Resync. There we go. Now you guys see the numbers, right? Now you guys see the score over there on StreamYard. I think I'm fired up on TikTok too. Let me make sure. Watching TNF Rams versus Seahawks. Go live. Stafford with the play action fake. Oh, and see, they're getting the ball to Davis Allen, bro. And I picked up Colby Parkinson. And you pick up Colby Parkinson in fantasy because, it's been tough, bro. I had Kyle Pitts, and he sucked all year, and he balled. I dropped him. I had Colston Loveland. I had Jawan Johnson. And I picked up Colby Parkinson this week, and just already they're targeting Davis Allen. Like, now if I'm watching the personnel, it's like what the is Parkinson even in the game? Or are they just going to keep Davis Allen in the game? There's no tight ends in the game right now. But with Devontae Adams hurt, you're thinking, who's going to eat? This Cantana Mumfield cat. What's this guy's name? Mumfield. Kanata Mumfield. And bro, they have the most random guys to throw the ball to. Terrence Ferguson, Davis Allen, I just said, Tutu Atwell, Jordan Whittington, Puka Nakua. Good play by Puka right there. Yeah, so with Puka did some anti-Semitic dance. And he also was criticizing the officials. I'm like, Puka, they gonna get you out the paint, Brody. They gonna get you right out of the paint, bro. The people for Jewish hate, they gonna get you right up out of there, partner. Same thing with Roger Goodell and the NFL officials, bro. They gonna get you right up out the paint, bro. You better watch what you saying and watch what you're doing on live. Sometimes these guys go on live thinking that they're just hanging out. Nah, there are thousands of people that see those lives, and they're recycling all that content. Michael says, go Hawks. Go Hawks. What time the Monmouth Hawks coming on? Oh, you're talking about the Seahawks. You're talking about the Seattle Seahawks. I love it out there. I was just thinking to myself as they were coming into Seattle, I'm like, man, that's a place that I've been to one time in my life, and I want to go again before I die. I know it's not that hard to get on a flight to go to Seattle. I've done it before. But, it's a place that, the Pacific Northwest, you don't know until you go. All the times I've seen the Yankees play out there, never went to see the Yankees play out there. I got invited to go to the All-Star game in 2023, and it was sick. It was amazing. I was like, wow. There he is, Kanata Mumfield. This is another reason why I didn't bet this game tonight. Because I'm like, yo, they're going to get the ball to everybody. Nobody's going to have a big game. And speaking of Colby Parkinson, he's not even in the freaking game. I'm in the fantasy playoffs, bro. And is he not even freaking playing? I'm going to be so tight. He's playing. But damn, bro. Like, he's not even in these formations right now. What are they waiting on? What are they waiting on? Like, am I missing something? Did Kobe Parkinson get hurt? Did he get scratched before the game? I'm seeing somebody on Twitter right now. They said, this is me after starting Kobe Parkinson thinking he would be involved. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm feeling like a clown. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? Yeah, people are bugging on Twitter. They're like, yo, after Kobe Parkinson balled last week, he's not even involved in the offense. What a freaking scam. What a scam. That's going to be a goose egg? Hell nah. This got to just be a first drive thing. This got to be a first drive thing. TikTok, I'm going to get to you guys in a second. Let me clear this chat over here. Myron said, sup, Keith? Niners are definitely watching this game tonight. Merry Christmas, Keith, for you and your family. Merry Christmas to all of you guys, man. Enjoy it. Have a good time. You know, as I've gotten older now and I have a kid, it is just so different. I care about it. Puka Nacua. Oh, I thought he was about to score. 3rd and goal. They stop him. I was going to say, Puka Nacua scores after he said he was going to do that dance when he scores a touchdown. No, the F he ain't. But yeah, enjoy the holiday season, man. I used to be a Scrooge. You know, story about me. I went to a daycare when I was 4, and a kid told me that SC was not real. I don't know how many kids or young people we got in the chat, but I would hope everybody in here, I hope I don't got to keep that secret still, but check me out. When I was 4 years old, I went to this daycare that was out of somebody's house, and there was a bunch of badass kids. And there was this older kid. He had to be like 11 or 10. And he pulled up on me. I remember I was sitting on the steps like playing action figures, and he pulled up on me. And I was talking about like what I was going to get for Christmas. And I was, you know, a little 4-year-old dumbass. And you should be at 4. At 4, your brain is not all the way developed. You're a kid. You should be, you know, you should be talking about this make-believe jolly fat guy with a beard that's going to come to your apartment with no chimney and drop you off whatever you desire. And homie pulled up on me, and I remember him looking me dead in the face and telling me, it's not real. He's not real. And I'm like, what you mean? He was like, your mom gets you those gifts. Pay attention. It's not real. So, of course, I went home that night. And when my mom was getting me ready for bed, you know, bathing me and putting me in my pajamas and whatnot, I asked her. And shout out to Crystal. She kept it 100. She ain't lied to the boy. Shout out to my mom, yo. I asked her straight up, dead ass. Yo, Santa Claus real? I was at daycare today, and this kid told me Santa Claus isn't real. You get the gifts. And so my mom gets the credit. She told me, Santa Claus isn't real, bro. Santa Claus isn't real. I do get the gifts. I said, cool, Mom. Appreciate you. Not going to give the credit to some big guy in a red suit that doesn't exist. And so that changes things for a young man. So from age 4 to about 16, I think about 15 or 16, I think 15. Because let me think now. My sister's 2 years younger than me. So for 10 years, from age 4 to 14, I had to keep that secret. Because my little sister thought Santa Claus was real from age 2 to 12. Trauma. Who you got tonight? I got the Rams. The Seahawks struggled against Phillip Rivers and them. That drive right there, it looked fairly easy for the Rams to move the ball, even though they don't have Devontae. I think Matthew Stafford. I mean, now they're Kevin Dotson. They just lost an offensive lineman. They're getting hit by injuries. But I just ultimately think, or punch it in here. What are you gonna do? Matthew Stafford QB sneak here? Play action. Who was that in the back of the end zone? Ferguson. If you played Ferguson first touchdown, congrats. Flag on the play, though. Hold your horses here. Flag on the play, though. Flag on the play, though. Let's see what the flag is. And let me adjust my scoreboard a little bit. I can do better than that. Hold on, folks. Let me see. Let me get back over here. Let me go like that. And now the scoreboard is better for you guys. I got a monitor over here. I got TikTok over here. I got StreamYard over here. Let me listen to what the flag was on the play. Doesn't count. Comes back. 4th down again. They're going to take or not 4th down again. They're going to kick the field goal on 4th down. So what was I saying? Where am I at here? Because now the chat is popping up. I got the scoreboard. I got all this going on right here. Okay. Who you got tonight? I got the Rams in a close one. I just think they're the better team. They beat them already. The Seahawks struggled against Phillip Rivers at home last week. I know there's a lot of hype. Short week usually benefits the home team. You know, I know Sean McVay just had a kid this week, which is kind of crazy to think about. Like your coach just had a new person added to his life, a newborn baby. But 7-3 here early. Hopefully they get Colby Parkinson going because that's going to be a mistake for me. I just was like trying to stream a tight end. He had a big week last week. Hopefully that was just the first drive. Maybe they got these guys alternating series, but I just need him to get 5 points, 10 points, maybe. 0 would be trash. 0, I'd be in the hole. The lone silencer is in the chat. What up? Bill is in the chat. What up? Ray says he's watching the Knicks game. I'm not watching the Knicks tonight. I'll keep an eye on it, though. Let me keep an eye on the NBA scoreboard because I know the Nets are playing the Heat, too. The Nets are down 5. It's 54-49 Miami, and the Knicks are down 14, 86-72 Pacers. Yeah, I'm stressing right now. I'm stressing because I started Colby Parkinson. I had a bye. My team's number 1 in fantasy. I had a bye. And then sometimes you get cute and you do stupid ass stuff like that. And I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people on Twitter right now stressing that. There's a lot of people like, yo, what the hell is going on? TikTok, I'm coming to you in a second. OG from Hoboken in here. What's good? What's good? John Rubio back in action. What's up, John? Knicks looking trash. Knicks having a little bit of a hangover in Indy from the NBA Cup. I can't put down the cup. I can't put down the cup. All right, let me see what they're saying on the TikTok chat. I'm going all the way back to the top. Someone said Rudolph was a system reindeer. I mean, whether he was a system reindeer or not, with the whole red nose thing and the system being geared for him to light the way, the favoritism, the him being the star child. How many other reindeer can y'all name? But like I'll give it to Rudolph because he came from nothing to something, right? They didn't let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games, and then one foggy Christmas Eve, he became the star. So Phillies are the best. Jesus Luzardo is in the what? Jesus Luzardo is in the TikTok chat. Jesus Luzardo says, "Why do the Mets love Yankee scraps?" I don't know, man. It's one of those weird things, right? It's like when you share a city with somebody, they see you a lot. It's kind of like, it's that weird energy. It's like, guys falling in love with like other guys' girlfriends because they, live on their block or they work with them or something. It's like, bro, lay off. And then as soon as you break up with the girl, she's right on. It's like, I should have known. What's one move the Yankees must make? Get a starting pitcher. Get another starting pitcher. I don't think it's going to be Tatsuya Imai. I was talking to you guys about that yesterday, and reports are coming out that like he's most likely going to be a Cub. Go get Michael King, I guess. I'm kind of like souring on the whole Cody Bellinger thing. There was a report that nobody has come close to Cody Bellinger's contract demands that Scott Boras put out there. Good. Peacock Glitter Dad says, "What's up, Keith? Chilling, man. Got a little bit of a headache. I was talking about hoping I don't get sick, but it's in my head that people are getting the flu. We've also hit on Santa Claus not being real and how I'm telling folks to enjoy the holiday season, enjoy Christmas. I've got a baby now. I've got a 2-year-old. And just to see, how much he loves Christmas and how much he believes is great, because I stopped believing at age 4. Someone ruined it for me at 4 years old. Derek says that story about the lady at the post office talking to you was crazy. Yeah, God bless her. I would love to find her. I just, at the time, I don't know, man. I didn't get her name. I know what she looks like. I've gone back to that post office twice looking for her. And you know what I really wish? I wish I got the name of her church. I wish I got the name of her church to go to service. But I was so popped back then. I was so broke back then. Go look at my Twitter, yo. If you look at my Twitter, there's a post that starts with 6 years ago. And when I met that lady, it was 7 years ago because it was 2018. And she felt something. And damn, I wish I could just tell her she was right. I wish I could just see her to be like, you were right, yo. Just so like people that are God-fearing like that and that believe in the Lord and they pray and they go to church, and when they feel moved to pray for somebody and tell somebody something, like I wish I could see her again to be like, yo, you were spot on. This lady told me in the freaking post office getting my passport done when I was stressed. Don't worry. She said, even if you don't get this NFL gig, I was applying to be an international ambassador for the NFL through, Marriott and a partnership that they had. They were going to send me to the London games, and I didn't even have a passport. And she's like, I'm seeing a vision right now. God is telling me to pray for you and talk to you and tell you that you're going to reach the masses. You're going to speak to a lot of people. You're going to help people. And the next thing she said, she's like, I'm seeing football players. I think I'm seeing Tony Dorsett. I didn't know in 2018 I was going to be on the radio. I didn't know I would have followers. I didn't know I would be doing sports talk and all that stuff. So, because that wasn't what my career was. I was doing social media. I just quit my job at Rock Nation. Before that, I was at Fubo TV and MTV. Like, I wasn't really on this that I am on now. But clearly, she saw the future. So, shout out to her. Bayonne Post Office. And she's not like, she used to work in the back. It's like the rotary there. It's like, it's like the person that does the passport. So she's not the main like teller. Mr. Borden in the chat. What's up, bro? Omi, Merry Christmas, bro. Keith, glad you're staying active with the sports talk. Keep grinding, my man. Of course. This is who I am. This is what I do. And, something I said, go look at my LinkedIn. I was like, I haven't been able to really do what all of these people are doing online because I've been so focused on the radio and, keeping the main thing. But now that I've been able to step out and kind of do this stuff on my own terms, like, bro, everything is going up. Everything is going up. It hasn't even been a month. It's been 3 weeks since I announced I was stepping down from the nighttime shift, and all of my accounts are up. Everything is up. My followers are up across the board. And no coincidence because I'm hitting it. No coincidence because I'm going live. Puka Nakua, is he going to house that? He's not fast enough. Big play, though. Can they get Colby Parkinson in the damn game? I'm about to lose this week because they're not going to play Parkinson. Steph Curry is definitely real, bro. I guess I'll catch the highlights. Steph was cooking them tonight. I said I was going to get the NBA scoreboard up. Puka wide open. Let's see. NBA scores. Steph Curry. That game doesn't start till 9 o'clock. So I don't know what you was on, bro. Something from a previous game. Let's see. The TikTok chat is flying now. Let me see. Let me go back. All right. Faster on TikTok. We're going to go straight through the TikTok chat. Derek is the one who said Steph Curry is definitely real, bro. Tito says, we going to add Bo Bichette and Imai? No, sir. I don't think the Yankees are going to add either one. Derek Henry says, my name is Zachary. Big fan of yours, and I enjoyed listening to you on WFAN. Zachary, appreciate you. I remember seeing you pop in before under Derek Henry. I think I might have just called you King Henry. Thank you for listening to my WFAN show, and thank you for finding me here on TikTok. Frankie says, any Yankee news? I would love Bichette over Jazz. I don't think they're actually going to trade Jazz. I think that's one of those things where they just like, they say that they're open to it, but like, I don't know. What are you getting for Jazz, and why are you getting rid of a guy that's a fan favorite that is explosive, that, you know, had a 30-30 year. And I get it. I know why you're getting rid of him. He was frustrating as hell in the postseason. And he's a knucklehead at times. Like, he does things where you're like, come on, bro. Like, this doesn't help us win. But you can just get rid of him after this year and not re-sign him. Debbie says, chill, bro. My daughter next to me had to turn you down. That's what I'm saying. When I started doing that, I'm like, hopefully, you know, at 9 o'clock at night, there's nobody of young age in the chat or in the stream listening. But I had to tell my story. I had to tell my story of why I was Scrooge, why I was the Grinch that stole Christmas for so many years, because somebody ruined it for me young, and that's foul, bro. Don't ruin it for these kids, man. Don't ruin it for these kids. Mark says, what's up, Keith? Monmouth County in the house. Yes, sir. Wavy, down by the beach, boy. Frank says, ready to tell the truth. Licata handled it the same way, just admitted it. Frank, I told you the truth. I don't lie. Sal did get fired. I didn't get fired. So I don't know what truth you seek. I made my decision. WFN didn't make the decision for me. I don't understand why, like, I don't understand why people are on this, like, you know, hunt to get me to, like, say something that's not true. Like, just give it up already. I think it would be super lame. Like, and that's how I know people don't really know me. I think it would be super lame if I use my family and being home with my family as like a shield for getting fired. I'm a man, bro. That's what I'm saying. You definitely don't know. You don't know shit about me. Like, if I got fired, and I've never been fired from any job, I would get on every mic and camera and say I was fired. Do I look like somebody that was kicked to the curb? Do I look like I'm creating content and putting things out like I was fired, like I'm sad, like my job was taken from me? So, you know, that's the thing, bro. We live in this fake ass world. There's so many people pretending. When you see a real muff, you don't know how to handle them. When you see somebody authentic like this, being their true self all the time, that is comfortable in their own skin, that defeated their own ego, it's like, this guy's got to be lying. Ready to tell the truth? Yeah, I told you the truth on November 24th at 9:26 a.m. I'm making a decision for me and my family. I'm no longer the nighttime host at WFAN. Hello. All right, and back to the chat. Why are the Yankees one of the highest valued franchises and then act like they have such a strict budget? Yo, Dre, you funny as hell. So Galati says, why are the Yankees so? Because Hal Steinbrenner told you their expenses, and Hal Steinbrenner told you what it costs, and Hal Steinbrenner told you, he doesn't feel like they need to spend the most money to win a championship. So, damn, Keith, come on, man. Chop it up about Weaver. I already did. And when I chop it up about Weaver, they say I'm obsessed with the Mets. He hasn't played a game for the Mets, though. You know what I'm saying? He's been a Yankee the last 2-3 years. But you know how the Met fans get. Kobe Parkinson is plus 1,500 for 2 TDs. Bro, he's not even getting snaps. He's not even in a game. I'm so mad. Like, what? What? Like, why is he glued to the bench? I need to, like, listen to the game. Like, what did he fall asleep in a meeting? Okay, he's in the game now. Number 84. Let's get him the ball. Let's get him a touchdown here on first down. No, they're running the ball. All right, but at least we're better. We're in better shape, folks. Number 84, Kobe Parkinson, is in the game. They lost their right guard, though. Faster in the chat, and then we'll get back to StreamYard too. I got TikTok, I got StreamYard, which is streaming me on X and YouTube. Kid McVeigh, yeah, Sean McVeigh had his kid. I think he had a boy. I think he had another son. Jersey Johnny says Stafford is a stud. Yes, he is, man. 2 connections to Matthew Stafford. You might have seen me post this a while ago. I was in a magazine. I started varsity quarterback as a sophomore, and so I got put in this magazine of, like, going into my junior year. It was like top recruits of my class, because there's not that many, starting quarterbacks in the country that are sophomores that at least play well. And so the number 1 was Matthew Stafford. And there was a bunch of other, Tim Tebow was there. There's a bunch of other names that I forget, but my name got put in there. I didn't deserve to be in there with them, but because I played varsity as a sophomore, they're like, guys to look out for. Later, I ended up playing in the New York versus New Jersey All-Star game with Noshawn Moreno. Noshawn Moreno went to Georgia, UGA, same school as Matthew Stafford. They played together as freshmen at Georgia. So I remember No Sean telling me, yo, come down, come party with us. And I'm like, never made it. Should have. That's a regret. Should have went to go, between the hedges and see what that was. Brandon's in the chat. He says, what's good? I'm chilling, bro. Doing what I do, man. Talking to everybody and watching football. Next year, Jet starter. Hendon Hooker. Spicy pork fry rice says no one cares, but yet he's in my chat. I think it's hilarious too. You know how many people I get trolling me and hating on me and saying all these things about me right now, and they don't realize they're adding to me. You're adding to my numbers. You're adding to my numbers. Like, all this does is help me out. So, like, keep it up. Keep it up. When I don't like somebody or I don't care about somebody, I go do something else. I go block them. I go mute them. I ignore them. It's kind of crazy, right? You think we get Imai? No. Keith, do you think the Nets move Claxton and start Wolf or Dayron, preferably Wolf? I think Nick wants to be there. I think they like Nick. I don't know about that. Maybe we'll see. We'll see what's out there. Sunday Dinner says, hey, man, thank you for your time on WFN. I always enjoyed your commute. I always enjoyed my commute home listening to you. Happy to be of service. Happy to be there. That's another field goal. Whack. 7-6. And you probably just saw the score change. Yep. 7-6. But at least Colby Parkinson is in the game. Anthony Joshua fight had to be fixed. I was not paying attention to that. He was fighting Jake Paul. I was not paying attention to that at all, bro. Let me change the lights up here as we get rolling. I got my Christmas lights on in here because my son came home. So I'm saying Christmas is different when you get a kid. When you get a baby, it's like it hits way different. You know what I'm saying? It's way different when you're seeing it through their eyes. I don't care at all. I'm not looking for anything. I don't need a gift. Whatever I need, I buy for myself. You know what I'm saying? I just told my family that I'm not on that like that. I'm really not. But for my son, like, Christmas is for him because he won't remember it, but I will. So even at 6-20, Knicks still struggle against Pacers. Let's see the scores. Let me go refresh the scores tab over here. 92-89. The Knicks have come back some. They're only down 3. And look at that. The Brooklyn Nets are down 1, 68-67. Some good basketball games on. Let me see. My TikTok chat is going off now. All right, I got to go fast. So if I don't say your name, I'm just going to respond to everything. Great stuff, Keith. Don't know if it's just me or is there a bad echo, though? Is there? Let me go to TikTok Studio. Is there a bad echo? I know I might be coming in hot. Mic check. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Is there an echo coming in? No echo. Okay. I know we got that sorted out before. Let me see here too. I do want to change this like aspect ratio. I think I need to just be a little further back, but I'm going up to read the chat and the scores. Let's see. Yeah, someone said your microphone gain volume is too high. Yeah, I changed that. But I also have it high because I'm not yelling. I'm in my house. My son is sleeping, so I'm not trying to wake him up or be just rude in general. Man, TikTok chat went off. Georgie says, "Do you miss the fan?" I miss the callers. I miss doing a show. I miss being there for people that are missing me right now. I do miss that. But I'm doing shows. I'm doing content. I'm still being myself, but I do miss delivering for those people that are like, you're my favorite host, you're the best. And like I said, that's not in my hands to decide when I get back on air. You know. And I understand also, like, I stepped down, I walked away. They're not in a rush to put me on air, and they don't have to ever put me back on air. Like, I kind of accepted that when I made my decision. I was joking because you said SC is not real. Oh, okay. So the Steph Curry reference was when I said SC. I was trying to, I was trying to use the initials for the kids. I didn't want to say Santa Claus. Live goal achieved. Check the goal and celebrate. I don't know. I didn't set that. M Fontanella 17 says Bleacher Creatures. Salute. 203. Wish I could have made the Christmas party, but we had a holiday party down in Shrewsbury. A family friend that we go to probably every year, and a lot of kids there. Him and his wife throw a great party. Shout out to Mario and his wife Ariana. I had to get down there for that. Richard says, "What happened at the fan with you?" Good grief. I'm just gonna skip those. Uptown Sports TV. You're a fly guy. What's good? Yo, Uptown, baby. We gets down, baby, for the crown, baby. Let me know when y'all need me. Would you have stayed if they wanted to keep you? Oh my God. Like it's this like what do you they did want to keep me. Just watched the new A-Rod doc. It's wild. Yo, thank you for reminding me. I started the A-Rod doc. I think I watched the first episode and I didn't finish it. I just watched Stuart Scott's 30 for 30. That was amazing. Okay. Dre says, your live give goal set by TikTok was only one rose. Done easy. Beginner things. Yeah, I don't know. I probably set that by accident. Did you see the writing on the wall? No. I didn't see any writing on any wall. I write on my own walls. Sal got let go. Do you know why, Keith? Yeah, that's obvious to see. Okay, like Craig Carton came back to do afternoon drive. They moved the entire afternoon drive to the midday. So Sal and BT have to go. It's a casualty. It's not fair. It's not right, but life ain't fair. Life is not right. I knew it was strange when Sal wasn't doing the last show. I wouldn't read too much into that. Like, I don't know everybody's contract situation and I don't care. But I got a ton of respect for BT and Sal because of the way that they handled themselves. One, being on air while the news broke on December 2nd. Two, doing shows professionally and not taking it personal, not lashing out. And, like there's a lot of emotion involved in that. Like those guys, I commend them. They're better than me. They were super professional. They did the show. They took the calls. I was listening to BT all week. Mark did the show today. And like BT, he took those calls and he tried to, dance around her, say, I don't want to do that. I don't want to take those kind of calls. But it's tough, bro. It's tough. People are calling up to say that like they think you're the best and they love your show and it's not right. And it's like, y'all didn't get to do that for me because I'm not fired. Like that's what I'm saying. People can't put that together. Like, how come there was no Keith McPherson send off? Because Keith McPherson wasn't fired. Duh. Good return. Oh, couldn't keep his feet, but got almost to the 40. Who the hell is that? They always have all these randoms on the Rams. Next thing you know, they're throwing that guy a screen. Let's see. I knew it was strange, yada yada. Bro, not to be funny, what do you think about the kid the Yankees lost? For real, is he any good? I don't know. In the Rule 5 draft, I don't know. That's like that stuff doesn't matter until it matters, Like that comes up later on, and it's like I'm not thinking about that kid at all. I'm thinking about like this team losing to the last two, the two teams that were in the World Series. And the last two World Series being won by the Dodgers. And, like, is this team going to somehow close the gap of being right there? Or are they going to just be mid? They're probably just going to be mid. It's due to the lockout coming in 27. Yeah. Jim Fraley says, my guy Keith looked like Nick Cannon twin. Nah. I've proven that one wrong. I've shown you guys the picture of me and Mr. Cannon and his 11 kids. Let me see, because I've told you guys these stories over and over again. I got to scroll through my bookmarks to find it because it was years ago at MTV when I was like, Nick, I don't think I look like you, bro. But when I used to have shorter hair, I would get that. And so I took one picture with Nick Cannon to have saved for the rest of time. And I don't think we look like at all, really. But I know a lot of people think everybody black looks the same. So yeah, two black dudes. We're not close in age either. I think he's like 5 or 6 years older than me at least. That's when he used to rock the turbans, the glasses. Different. We had way different facial hair. Shout out to Nick though. I started Nick's Wildin' Out social media channels, and Nick is a hustler, man. Nick is a hustler. Weaver is trash anyway. Yeah, he was trash. I was good on that. Why are the Mets signing all the Yankees rejects, Keith? It's a tried and true system for them. If they can play for the Yankees, they can handle it in Queens. You know what I'm saying? Mendoza's a former Yankee bench coach. He's like, bring those guys down. Let's take a poll who thinks Keith got fired. User with all of these numbers, like, there's no need for this. Middletown South or North? Middletown South. Middletown South's always been better than Middletown North. Oh, Stacy, I'm sorry I'm late to get into your comment. Stacy from Locked On Yankees here. I gotta follow you back. Let me click on Stacy. Follow. I did their pod a couple weeks ago, and I told the story there. But you know what I learned? Same thing with the radio. You can say stuff on the radio over and over again, and people are gonna believe what they want to believe, yo. They're gonna hear what they're gonna hear, and you could say the same things over and over and over again. It does not matter. It does not matter. If you want to believe I got fired, good. Believe that I got fired. Believe that I got fired, and that, like, would you have stayed if they wanted you? Like, what are you saying, bro? No Sean's from your town? Yeah, shout out to No Sean. See, here we go. I'm gonna pin this one. That's a good comment right there. So you guys know where I'm at. Talk says your come up is going to be great. It already has been. There are a lot of people that have been paying attention for years. How come you didn't spend the extra $50 for the SM7B? Dude, first off, this is the MV7, and it's the first model that came out, like when they first came out. I have 3 microphones in my closet. I'm sponsored by Elgato, but I like this one specifically because it plugs into this Wave XLR from Elgato. So when you have an SM7B, you need like a Cloudcaster device. You need a preamp. And I don't want a preamp for this. Like, I'm not doing a podcast. I'm not doing a show. I'm doing live. And the quality on the shore is not that much better. This is perfectly fine for me. Email address 8607, who I'm talking to. Yankees are going to be cheap this year. Sir, the mic level gain. The mic is too. I adjusted it. So this is from minutes ago. Have you spoken to Steve Summers after quitting the Fan? No, he was a mentor. No, and you know what? Steve has been doing his run of book tours and stuff. He hasn't called me. I haven't called him. But Steve and I don't know if you guys were paying attention. I think it was November, whatever that night was, Steve and I were on air together. We had our recent powwow. And I know how Steve feels about me. Steve knows how I feel about him. I think it might have been the 12th. Shout out to Steve Summers. Go get his book. And no, I haven't spoken to Steve Summers. There's a few people from WFAN I haven't spoken to, but most of them I've either seen or they've reached out because I've been in the office twice. I was at the holiday party, and after I went to the luncheon, I stopped by the office. So I've seen Evan, I've seen Tiki, I've seen Morash, I've seen Tommy, I've seen our bosses, a sales team, our digital people. But yes, Steve, I haven't caught, and I'd like to pull up on one of Steve's events to show support there. I'll be at BT and Sal's event in January. Everything is all good. I know people love the drama part of it, but I'm not about drama. I know people want it to be like salacious and like there to be some type of malcontent and there to like I'm not on that shit, bro. Like that's not I'm not that type of person. If you couldn't tell from listening to me over time, like that's not the case, bro. Okay, and everybody check the mic. Hear you clearly. Mike B says, Keith, miss you on the Fan. Who we like for the 8th if we don't sign any relievers? Camilo Duvall, Jake Bird, Fernando Cruz. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It is December 18th. We're far away from knowing who's on this roster. Did Chris Gomes go from StreamYard to TikTok? That means I'm ignoring StreamYard too much. Let me check the StreamYard chat for a second. Okay, my boy in here. He says no echo on YouTube. Okay, and John threw a super chat. When they throwing money, you gotta go to the money, man. You gotta go to the money, man. John threw the super chat. Appreciate you, John. John says, "You think your Yanks will sign Bellinger or the Mets?" I don't know. I don't care. I think the Mets will ante up. I think he's like in a space right now where Boris is trying to get him the most money. So the Mets are gonna probably go a little further than the Yankees will. Let's see. Myron in here. Myron said, God works in mysterious ways. Won't he do it? God is the greatest. I can't even tell you some of the things God has done for me in these last couple weeks. Blessed. I'm way up. Way up. Once you become a father, Keith, it's no more about you. Correct. Correct. My boy Ade is in here. He said, finally in here. Yup. Let's see. Oh, we got some haters in the chat. Because Pam always supports. Is Pam Keith family blood? No. See, people just think black people are all related and all look alike. No, Pam is not my fam, but I'm gonna use that now. Now that's a rhyme. Because Pam show love more than my fam. I don't need my family to be in the chat. I don't need my family to watch my stuff. I don't need my family to like anything. You know who Pam is? Pam is someone who listened to WFAN, and she heard a brother on WFAN, and she took a liking to his style, his voice, his approach, and his way, and then she came out and met me. She met me at the T-Mobile store in Times Square. I did a kickoff to the season event with Cecil Fielder and Paul O'Neill, and she got to meet me there. And then she also came out to our World Series watch parties, our postseason watch parties at Billy's. She also was at Stands for opening day of 2025. So, you know, the difference between these losers like JV3, VC5, you've never met me. You've never seen me in the flesh. People that have seen me in the flesh have a little bit of a different affinity towards me. Come on, man. Let's see. Is Parkinson in the game? I don't even think Parkinson's in the game. He is. He's blocking. Touchdown. Again. Ew, Ferguson, 2 touchdowns. Well, no, the first one didn't count. Terrence Ferguson touchdown. Seton Hall basketball in the top 25. Shaheen Holloway doing his thing. Right. John Rubio said people need to stop. Research, Keith. It's not hard. I have a long digital paper trail. Like, well, that's an oxymoron, a digital paper trail. I have a long digital trail of like what I've done and who I am. So, you know, you go look that up. Yeah, Myron, I don't need to block him. He's just adding to, like, as I'm saying, all these people hating on me in this time. I'm talking to you. I respond to you. I don't care. You're watching me. Like, you're anonymously watching me. Thank you. Keith hates on the Mets but can't take it. No, that's not what's going on. I hate on the Mets, and if you hate on me, I address it. I can dish it out and I can take it. I enjoy all of this. This is the internet. I'm in my house. You can't come over here and do anything to me. You wouldn't anyway. I could give you the address. You wouldn't show up. You're not like that. You're tough online. Your picture is a J. you would never show your face. You're not like that, bro. Like, all these people online, they do this behind the cloak of anonymity. They do this where they're protected online. I'm outside every day. I was literally doing man on the street content, holding up signs in Bryant Park and Times Square, and it doesn't go down, bro. These people are only big online. So yeah, if you need the attention, Jay, go for it. We're giving you the attention you seek. I'm going back to the TikTok chat though, because you ruin it. You're ruining it for people like Pam. You're ruining it for You're ruining it for people like Ray. You're ruining it for people like Ade and Myron, people that have been rocking with me consistently, and they know we gonna win, and they just waiting for the next thing to come out to be like, see, I told you my boy was gonna win. I'm winning right now. I'm winning right now. Go look across my pages, bro. Go look across my pages. No sad song for Keith McPherson. Nobody's singing no sad song for me. I'm straight, bro. Let me change the lights again in here so we can vibe different. Thanks for watching. We are on TikTok. We are on YouTube. We are on Twitter. We're also live on Assist. Shout out to them for putting the scoreboard up here. It is 13-7 as the Seahawks are down. And I told you I thought the Rams would have their way as we're getting closer to halftime here. Yeah, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit like. If you're on TikTok, go ahead and do those TikTok-y things that they do. Let's see. Rocky sent gold boxing gloves. Nick Labombarda sent a Let 'em Cook, a goat. H&L Dre sent a I'm ready. Colin sent a couple roses. Appreciate y'all. We are approaching 4,000 likes on TikTok. That's cool. And 23 people watching on TikTok, but 465 total viewers have come through, 9 gifters, and 8 new followers. If I switch the vibe up with the lights, it'll be better. Oh, and I got the sunglasses on. Live Fest. My boy Gabe texted me. I'm like, Gabe, pull up to the live, bro. Oh, that's hilarious. It's hilarious. Yeah, no, you know, you need haters too. Everybody's not supposed to love you. And like a lot of times these haters are just people like they got their own issues in their life. They don't know how to express things. They don't know how to they just don't know how to like be cool and be supportive. Like I might be one of the greatest of all time when it's all said and done. And you gonna remember how you were hating on me on December 18th, 2025 for no damn reason. I won't remember it though. I won't remember it. That's gonna be the highlight of your life. I'm not gonna remember it though. It's all the same to me. It is all the same to me. I'm blessed. I can't tell you how blessed I am. You wouldn't understand. You wouldn't understand what I have done this year, what I have done in these last couple weeks. It's rarefied air. It is rarefied air, baby. Let me adjust this. Okay. Cool. Keep my headphones on so I can hear the game. Okay. I'm going to keep the basketball scores over here. The TikTok chat is moving way faster than the YouTube chat. Kenneth Walker, let me check my fantasy. I know my fantasy team is looking cheeks. I'm so mad. Like, I played Kobe Parkinson. I don't think he has a point. He's got 0 points. Fuck. But I'm playing against AJ Barner, so AJ Barner's got 1.8. It's not much of a difference. He's got 1 catch for 8 yards. Can I beat that? Can I top that? Can I push? Can we push? All right, commercial break in the football game. Let's see if there's anything good in this TikTok chat. I'll skip over some of the haters. Can't give the haters all of the time. That's something that I said I was going to do. Like 2026, no haters. I'm entertaining you guys for now. 2026, no hater comments get addressed because there's too much love in the chat. There's too many people that are like, bro, I want to talk to you. I've been looking for you. Like I just saw somebody say that in the chat where I'm like, you looking for me? I'm right here. I'm right here. Okay, here we go. Let's go back to the chat. I'm just going to start from the bottom. Everyone fell for the Parkinson's hype. Miss you on the fan, Keith. Yeah, I fell for it too. You know, waiver wire. Go get him. I mean, there's still a whole second half. If he scores 5-10 points, I'm cool. I have Colston Loveland, and I think I have Juwan Johnson, and then watch they ball out. That's when I'll be sick. I think Saturday the Bears play. So if Colston Loveland balls out, and I picked up Colston Loveland after he had that one big game. Oh, and I have Mike Gesicki. I gave up Juwan Johnson a couple weeks ago. So Mike Gesicki, the pride of Southern Regional. Let's see. Do you think Giannis is going to get traded? Yeah, but not to the Knicks. Rich, you the man. Rich 23-28. Remember when I asked where your schedule was? Yeah, a little story about that. Man, Rich, you've already been mentioned a few times in the Keith McPherson story. So Rich messaged me about not being on the schedule the week of Thanksgiving. And I knew what I knew, but I didn't want to tell Rich. And so I kind of lied and said, like, yeah, it's the holiday. But anybody that was listening to me on the radio knew I was just on holiday. I just went on vacation. I was in the Florida Keys, Key Largo, November 3rd, that whole week. And so Rich hit me like, yo, why are you off the schedule? And I wasn't fired. I was done. But the plan was to not say anything publicly. So I went through the whole week of my shows, and then Monday came, and I had read a Reddit thread. Somebody else messaged me, but basically, like, Rich was the first one of my, like, listeners to be like, hey, this is peculiar. Why are you off the schedule? Like, you were just on vacation. And with that thought in my mind, as I'm trying to tell people the truth now, and they still don't want to believe the freaking truth, I almost lied to Rich to make something up. And I was like, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm done. Like, why do I got to lie? Why do I got to keep this lie for any longer? I am done. So then that Monday morning when I got home from dropping my son off at school, I was literally in a spot where I'm like, I can't do anything until I tell my truth. I can't do anything else until I tell the world that I've stepped down from my job and I'm no longer the nighttime host at WFAN. And thank God I did. Thank God I did it my own way. And thank God I did it at that time, because that went viral. And there are companies and brands and content creators and people trying to go viral every day. And me being authentic and telling my truth, it went viral. And I can't tell you, there's no way for me to articulate what it's done and the return that it's given me. It's amazing. God is the greatest. When you just live in your truth and do what's right for you and your family, you know, idiots can think what they want to think. Dummies can think that you're lying or making it up. But the truth resonates with a lot of smart, influential, successful people that all reached out to me. If I could show you my phone, like, there are Yankee fans here. If I showed you the people and the names in the Yankee world that reached out to me that day, that week, you'd be like, wow, Keith is beloved. Keith has people's support. And I appreciate you guys' support. I appreciate everybody that's watching, bro. So yeah, shout out to Rich. Rich, you get, like, forever, bro. You get, and I'll see you at Fanatics Fest. I saw you wrote that in the chat. But, like, you are you're forever connected to my story, because you're someone that I did meet, and you're someone that I know listens to my show, and you're also someone that I responded to in the DMs. And when I got your DM, I was like, I'm not going to lie to anybody else. I got your DM. I'm like, I don't have to lie, bro. I don't have to. This isn't. People lie out of fear. People lie out of, like, having to cover something up. People lie out of not wanting the truth to be said or known. I had none of that. So I told my truth. I told the world my truth. And thank God I did exactly when I did. Before the Craig Carton news leaked, and I knew nothing about it. I knew nothing about it, yo. I knew nothing about Craig, and I like Craig. I got nothing against Craig. I knew Craig was coming back because it was inevitable, but I didn't know when. Everything happens for a reason. How many people have heard me say the universe never unconnects? The universe didn't unconnect on me that day. 7.4 million. 7.4 million, bro. 7.4 million views on that tweet. So that's forever and ever. Kobe Parkinson's going to screw us over. Anyway, this game right here, tick, 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 flag on the play. There's always flags. Under a minute left. What's this flag? He doesn't even know. Holding. Yeah. When they make the Keith McPherson documentary, when I write a book, maybe Rich will be in it. Like, shout out to Rich for sending me a DM. Like, why are you not on the schedule? And like, when you're on the radio, it's a public-facing job. When you're on the radio, you're a public figure. You can't pretend. I could have. But I think, the plan was for me to pretend to be on vacation for the week and kind of lay low, and I don't lay low. So that wouldn't have worked. It didn't even work. It didn't even work through 10 a.m. on Monday. Cooper Kupp. Fumble. Oh. Is that a touchback? Oh, Cooper Kupp is so washed. Oh, that's terrible. They were just going to go down and potentially get a field goal. Good route. Hold on the ball. Oh, man, he just hit him and that popped out. I think it was a touchback. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Oh, they're spotting the ball at the 1? Wow, and they spot the ball at the 1. You just run the ball and go in up 13-7.5. There's no point. There's no point. Knicks take the lead. Knicks win. 114-113. They be chilling until it's time to close out. The Knicks be chilling until it's time to end the game. I had to get old buddy up out the paint. Let's see. No sound detected. Check your... No. I just wasn't saying anything for a second. TikTok. Replay just called it a touchback. Yeah, I thought it was a touchback on the field. I'm like... People keep asking me what's holding up the Yankees. I wish I knew. Bidding and other teams and them not being the big fish and not spending a lot of money and just waiting. Keith, make me feel better about the Yankees. The Yankees won the same amount of games as the Toronto Blue Jays. The Yankees don't have Luke Weaver and Devin Williams, who combined blew like 12 games. The Yankees are essentially running it back. If they get Cody Bellinger, they're pretty much running it back with Garrett Cole coming back. Like, I hate to say it because it's very mid and content and comfortable, but like the Yankees won the same amount of games that they won when they got to the World Series. They won the same amount of games as the team that represented the American League in the World Series. They're not far off at all with what they have, with who they have. They played Anthony Volpe hurt all season. They're not going to do that. You would hope that some of the guys improve. I don't expect Trent Grisham to have the same kind of year, but like, can Judge have the same kind of year and be healthy all year? Can Stanton stay healthy, have a better, start to the season? Can Austin Wells improve? Oh, they're going for it. Can Ben Rice, continue to do what he's done? Can Ryan McMahon be a better hitter? Ahmed Rosario has now the full year with the Yankees. Let's see what he does. Like, I'm not expecting much from them. So like, if you don't have your hopes up, you can't be disappointed. You can't be disappointed. Oh, super. Damn, Keith, not going to lie. I didn't tune in for your last week at WFM because baseball was done. I was looking forward to the next season with you on WFM, but at least we know where to find you when 2026 starts. McPherson brand lives on. I will say this. I was out like a thief in the night. Stealth. I left a little bit of an inkling. One of the last things I said was, it's been 4 years. And also, like I saw the dum-dum in the chat that was talking about my contract. I signed a contract extension in between my other contracts. So even though it had been 4 years, my contract didn't end at the 4-year mark. Got him again. I'm going to say it 1,000 times, but I think in 2026 we're done addressing it. I'm still under contract at WFAN. I'm not done. And I care about the brand. I literally care about the legacy of this place because I am part of the pantheon, you know? I am part of the history. And that's what I'm saying. What if I go on to be a freaking rock star? What if I go on to be a millionaire, million followers, worldwide known for kicking raps and talking sports and doing live streams and shows? I would like to still come back to the place that gave me a shot. I would like to still do guest spots and carry the banner like I've carried it the last 4 years. But, you know, when you got kids at home and you got a wife and you work a night job that you didn't have when you didn't have it. Like, when I took my WFAN job, my son wasn't born. And even when I signed my contract extension and my next contract, my son was little and it's my first kid. I did not know what it was going to be like when he got to being 2.5, his terrible twos. And I'm telling you, I don't miss it at all. Being tired, being groggy, being irritable, being like with kids, you got to have patience. And I don't miss being, mad at my son. Like, I've got patience for him now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't miss like lashing out at my son because I'm tired, because I have the pressure of doing a show. Like, I needed to step out. I don't lean on mental health because whenever you go to mental health, people are like, oh, it's a cop out. Oh, that's weak. But when you're not sleeping properly and you have a baby to take care of and you have to do a solo radio show for 3 to 5 hours a night, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of expectations. When you're a young black man in New York and you have literally that on you, that you're the only black host, there's a lot of pressure and expectations that you have to deliver on. Like, my family depends on me. I'm the first one in my family to go to college. I'm the first one to get a football scholarship, any kind of scholarship, go to college, graduate. I'm the most successful person in my family by far. And so when you carry that weight on your shoulders and you go to sleep on average 4 a.m. and wake up at 7 a.m. to a little boy who loves you banging on the door, I want daddy, running around, bro. You guys don't know my life. You don't know what type of shit I was doing, bro. You don't know what I had going on. And I can tell you the story forever, but you'll never care to listen, or you'll never care to understand, because it's better to just have this narrative that, oh, Keith got fired in his contract. Whatever, bro. I'll see you when I see you. I know one thing about me, though. I will never stop. I know one thing about me, though. I will always win. I know one thing about me, though. I've done enough that, like, I'm not done. And shout out to WFAN for giving me an opportunity to do the night shift. But when I signed that contract in 2021, I was freshly married and I did not have a kid. And even when I signed my contract and contract extensions, I did not know anything about having a kid. I did not know anything about what it would be like. When you first have a baby, your baby, you can, hold in your arms. You can give him a bottle. You can make him go to sleep. My son is a grown-ass man, dog. He wants his pops around. He doesn't care. My son never said to me, bro, you killed it on KM to AM. My wife never said to me, oh, yeah, like, so happy you crushed all your shows. Like, they're sleeping. But they're happy now. They're happy now that daddy is cooking dinner and home for dinner and bath time, and that daddy can get up in the morning and not be pissed off and not be half asleep and not be groggy and upset because daddy's sleep was interrupted. You know, I know you hear me a day. I know some. That's the thing. You all don't have to hear me. Just a couple people in the audience hear me, and that's who is resonating with, and that's making me even like deeper connected to those people that are like, wow, bro, I can't imagine. I can't imagine having to do a radio show, know what went on with the Yankees, the Mets, the Giants, the Jets, the Knicks, the Nets, the Islanders, the Rangers, the Devils, all the sports by yourself, take calls in the middle of the night, low sleep, and be a dad. You know, I handled it pretty well. I handled it pretty well. Um, and not too many people get that opportunity. And I think that's powerful too. That I said, okay, I got the opportunity. I did it for 4 years, and I think there will be other opportunities for me. I think that I'm going to continue to create and entertain and do well for myself. I'm waiting for y'all to talk about football or something. I'm watching the halftime. Like I said, I'm still just stuck in the whole thing for me that I had invested in this game. Kobe Parkinson, man, and he's got nada. He's got nada. You know. And if he doesn't score any points, I'm going to be so pissed because I'm probably getting bounced in the first round of fantasy after being the number one team and having a first round bye. So it's the second round of the playoffs in fantasy. 13-7, I'm glad I didn't bet this game too because it's low scoring. Yeah, let me see here. Hal needs to spend everything. Hal, spend everything and triple the price of chicken buckets. Judge cannot retire without a ring. We keep saying that too. I don't like that narrative of like, you know, they got to build around Judge. Judge got to retire. Like, Judge did show up this postseason, but maybe if Judge showed up in the other postseasons, he would already have a ring. He'd already have a ring. Yeah, Chris Gomez says, you don't have to keep explaining to people about your decision. But, you know, similar to doing radio, you know, I always would tell my stories over and over again on the radio because it's always somebody's first time hearing it. It's always somebody's first time hearing it. There's somebody on TikTok that they never saw me before. There's somebody on TikTok that followed me tonight after hearing me tonight. You know, when you're on the radio, it's similar. Like I remember Joe DiMaggio and Michael Jordan talking about, you know, every night they would play hard because that's somebody's first time or only time or last time seeing them play. So like every time I get on the mic, every time I get on air, every time I get on the stream, I give you myself, I give you my heart, I give you the real. I tell you exactly what's going down because could be your last time, could be your first time, could be your only time, you know? Right. Right. That's what I said, bro. There's no point in talking to people because it's like, you know, and I do this because it's entertaining. And I know all of this is on record too. I can't wait for years to come and years to go by. And then I can always go back to these and they're all on record, right? When you go to court and you have to give a testimony or you're on trial and things are on record, like, you know, they have record of you when you get arrested. They have record on you when you're handcuffed in the precinct. They have record of, and when the story changes, then they can be like, gotcha. You won't ever get a different story from me. Story will never change. You know, story will never change. I have greatness ahead of me. God's plan is greater than my own. I have plenty of opportunities and people to connect with and people to entertain, and I cannot wait for the future. I can wait. I'm patient. You know, God is preparing a table for me that I'm extremely blessed for. In the TikTok chat, let's see. We Knicks might have a little something with Kolick. Definitely. I heard a take about Tyler Kolick today. I think it was the girl, the Mill Media girl. And she was talking about, you know, she was kind of throwing shade at Tibbs. Like, you know, this would have never happened last year. Tyler Kolick would have never got these minutes last year. You know, he played 14 minutes in the opener. And he's been playing all season. So, you know, they were ready in the NBA Cup championship for him to play extended minutes and, you know, put Mikal Bridges on the bench. And, like, this is because we have a dynamic coach in Mike Brown. Listen, Tyler Kolek was a rookie. You know, he was a young boy. He was a baby. Like, he ain't a rookie anymore. Second year in the league, you've been around enough. You should be developed enough to go and play. You got drafted, right? Like, we remember seeing him at Marquette. Like, you belong, don't you? So, yeah, I don't know. I'm happy for the Knicks and Tyler Kolek, but I wouldn't look at that as like a Mike Brown thing over a Tom Thibodeau thing. You know, this team is deep. I bet Tibbs is like, damn, I wish I had these guys. I wish I had all these guys. Oh, let me clear something up, because I see you TikTok haters. I'm not in my basement. This seems like a basement to you guys. How much you think I pay in rent? Put some guesses in the chat. This is a 3-bedroom apartment. This is the third room in the bedroom. I'm not in a basement. I don't live with my mom. I see that too. Cracks me up. People are like, oh, he's back to living with his mom. I haven't lived with my mom. I don't know the last time I lived with it was that long ago. I've been standing on my own too a long time. So you might be at your mom's crib, and God bless you if you can stay there. You might be in your mom's basement. God bless you if you can do that. I've been in the city, boy. There ain't no basements around here. We live in apartments around here. And if you got an apartment my size, you can build a studio. You can put up soundproofing. You have a microphone. You can get some weights. You can be in here. You can turn this thing into a gym. Jose, higher. In 2018, I lived in Jersey City at 232 Grand Street. My rent was $2,300 in a 1-bedroom on the ground floor of a brownstone. Grand J719 says, missing you on WFAN, Keith. They gon' miss me a little when I'm gone. Miss me a little when I'm gone. Yeah. That's why I be on live. That's why I be right here on live. That's why I be, firing off here. Now, could I return to WFAN? Absolutely. I'm still under contract. Could I return to radio in general? Absolutely. There's a lot of radio stations. But like what I found, let's go Mets 023. I'm great. What I found in these last 3 weeks was like, damn, the opportunity on the internet. And like I didn't even have TikTok Studio downloaded. The opportunity to go live and to create on the internet is vast. And for the last 4 years, I was on radio every night. I did an MLB Network show. I did some TV appearances on NBC Sports Final and Yes Network and different things like that. And, it's great to live the dream of like, I made it to the actual number one sports market, like the number one media market. I made it on the radio and television in that city. Done. That's forever. Multiple times on Yes Network. One of the first hosts of the show Off Base on MLB Network. Nighttime host at WFAN. The youngest host ever. Well, not ever. But in that time slot, 40 years younger than the guy that I replaced. How many brothers have you heard on WFAN full time? I'll wait. Like, that's history. That's historic stuff. That's why I said I care about the brand. I care about the legacy. And as I go, because I was not fired, it's not like I'm out here giving a middle finger to WFAN. Like, if I was fired, then I would probably be tight and I would probably be upset and I'd probably be like, and that's another thing too. Y'all hear me talk about my family. Like, why would you be celebrating a man? If I was fired, why would you be celebrating a man being fired around the holidays? Like, that's why I say I feel bad for BT and Sal, because like that's tough on the family. Thanksgiving for me and my family was glorious. You know why? Because the family's like, yo, we got Keith back. The family's like, yo, he's back. He's back to being his regular self. I root for everybody to win, bro. I don't wish evil on anybody. Even if I was an anonymous dickhead just hiding behind a computer, I wouldn't jump in people's chats and and say stupid things. Like I would just be like, yo, God bless. Hope you're doing well, bro. Salute, man. Best of luck on the next thing. Michael Balos says, we miss you on the fan, bro. I have gotten probably 500 of those messages. That, you know what? That is the greatest thing, and also the worst, because I don't want to disappoint people. But then at the same time, it's like, you know, you did something when you got people missing you. You know, you did something when you're getting messages about how different it is, how different it sounds, how tough it is. You know, that's like adding value, and then the value's not there, and then it's like, if I was whack, there wouldn't be any of that, right? If I was whack, I'd be easily replaced. What Jay-Z said, they made Hove, make another Hove, right? I'm chilling, bro. I know exactly who I am. I know exactly what I'm doing. And yeah, I'll be back whenever they need me to fill in or you know, host a show or, you know, jump on. And the new year approaches. We'll be in 2026 very quickly, very soon. And I think that with my growing online presence, go check out my Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and you know, I'm gonna do it. I just was putting some of the numbers on my LinkedIn. I'm like, bro, I'm up. With my growing social media following and presence, I would like to, you know, share that with WFAN. I want to be a product of WFAN. I want to be an extension of WFAN because I wasn't fired. I want to continue to keep building and growing, and I wasn't building and growing doing the nighttime. I wasn't building and growing, sacrificing my family time. Sam Darnold's wearing a number 12 hand warmer with his number 14 jersey. Who's number 12? A wide receiver? Jackson Smith and Jigba's 11. Second half is underway. I'm watching it. Zach Charbonnet catches the ball. He's about half a foot short of the first down. This will be 3rd and 12 inches. Do you have a take on the whole return of Carton? Yeah, I love Craig, and I've done that a bunch too. And that's on record, you know, because like Sonny Carton might be watching this live, and Sonny Carton knows how much I rock with him because Sonny Carton works over at MLB, and when I last was at MLB, guess who they sent to go open the door for me? Sonny Carton, because they knew I'd be like, Sonny, what up, my boy? Guess who's buying me lunch at Major League Baseball headquarters in New York City? Craig Carton's son, Sonny. So, shout out to him, and shout out to Lucky. We're watching football. Craig's son, Lucky, is a hell of a football player. And he's out there in college playing college football like I once did. He's better than me. He's a running back. You give him the ball, he takes it to the house. And even little Anthony, Craig's youngest son, Anthony, who I believe is a freshman. And if he's not a freshman, he's about to be a freshman. And I'm sure Anthony will pop back up on the radio at some point. That kid, you want to talk about like some people got it, some people don't. Craig's youngest son, Anthony, that kid's got it. Oh, no. Kenneth Walker is sitting on my bench, and that's a house call. Oh, goodness. This is not going my way. Kobe Parkinson can't get a freaking catch in this game. I have Kenneth Walker benched in this game. And just that play alone, 65 yards, touchdown. Fuck. I hate fantasy football. I'm about to be bounced. I'm about to be bounced off of this one game. Kenneth Walker the third. He has been he just scored more points on one play than he probably had in weeks. Let me pull up fantasy right now. Kenneth Walker had literally been one of the worst the last couple weeks. He's got 11 points right now, and if I go to his game log, 11 points right now. Last week he had 2.9, and against Atlanta he had 3.8. So he outscored himself in one play. He outscored himself in the last 2 weeks. I'm cooked. Now he's got 30. Oh, I'm sick, bro. I'm sick, bro. 30 points on my fantasy bench. I'm sick about it. I might go to sleep. I'm not even joking. I might get off this live, bro. Taking the L. You might be on to something. We've thought about it. Michael says you should do a show from La Bodega at Yankee Stadium. We've thought about doing it in the backyard, but the Wi-Fi's got to be strong enough and the audio's got to be right. But like, I've already put out there to people, hey, now that I'm not doing the nighttime show on WFAN right after the Yankees post game, we could just go live at the stadium, boy. So like, you're following me here on TikTok, you're following me here on YouTube X. If I go to the game, why not just go live right after the game? Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Keith, I know you're a Yankee fan, but do you like how Stearns is building this year's team? It's incomplete, so I can't say I like it. I like that he's not afraid in year 3 to do what he wants to do, and same thing with Cohen letting him. I've said this about Stearns. I said D Stearns, the D is for destroying, destructing, demolishing the Mets that you knew. He is now making the Mets in his image, and he probably feels like, hey, if I'm going to get all of this criticism, if I'm going to be ridiculed, if I'm going to be, the guy that is blamed for everything, I might as well actually be blamed for my guys, the guys that I went to go get and I brought in. And if you pay attention to his strategy here, it's short-term deals, 2-3 years, and paying them a little bit extra. Short-term deals, paying them a little bit extra, getting some veterans, some guys that, have played before. And we'll see how it pans out. Now, it sucks for the Met fan to lose Brandon Nimmo, Edwin Diaz, and Pete Alonso, but they didn't win anything. So David Stern's like, hey, what did they win? I got to build a winner around Juan Soto. So we'll see how it shakes out. What platform do you check most, live, YouTube, or TikTok? Well, I have the TikTok chat right here. I have the YouTube and Twitter chat over here. There's 782 people watching on YouTube and Twitter. Twitter's always my biggest. 768 of them are on Twitter right now. 14 on YouTube right now. But like by the next day, that goes up. And I'm not a big numbers guy as far as like, I'm not stressing numbers. I don't care. I would do this for 4 people. But as far as like, which one do I check the most? I'm watching the game. I'm checking these NBA scores. The Nets lose 106-95. I'm sick about my fantasy team. I just closed that because I'm like, Kobe Parkinson is in my starting lineup, about to put up 0, and Kenneth Walker's on my bench, about to put up 30. And you draft Kenneth Walker, and you don't play him because he's been buns the last 2 weeks. He's had 3 points in 2 separate games. But yeah, no, I don't really have like a, TikTok I'm building on. I'll say TikTok, I have like a little bit over 5,600 followers on. And I know to just put in time. I know to just, show up on the live and post more. And I'm blessed that like Twitter, I've been on for years, so that I've got like 43,000 Twitter followers. And I just hit 26,000 followers on Instagram. I'm not live there, but I've been, posting there. And YouTube, I think we're about to hit 3,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is cool. So there's obvious interest because people are like, hey, what's this guy going to do next? Is this what you're doing? Is this your career? No, but it could be. If I wanted to just say, okay, I'm not taking another job, right? Tell my agent, hey, don't answer any more phone calls. Tell my agent, don't answer any more emails. I'm just going to do, my thing from home. Then yeah, I could, and it would look a lot different than this. We would build it out differently. But I know there's interest because people are like, yo, this guy quit WFAN. He stepped down from WFAN. What's he doing next? Like, people just want to know. I'm enjoying the holiday season. I can't tell you how much I'm enjoying the holiday season. I'm blessed. Like I said, if there were 4 people watching, I'd do this. So to have like 800 people watching, cool. Wide open, but that ball is short. Xavier Smith? Matthew Stafford will throw the ball to anybody. They'll draw up a play for anybody. The Stan NYC, do you have an email? Yep, Keith@McPhersonBrand.com. It has been blown up over the last 3 weeks. Some really good stuff, some stuff that's just like nothing. And then some really touching things, some heartfelt emails from listeners that rock with me. So yeah, I've kept that email up for a while. I've had McPherson Brand LLC now since my son was born. I made it the same year he was born, just to like start doing side business and like creating my own brand. And so Keith@McPherson Brand LLC is my email. Some people send business proposals or, invites to things or just, letters there. So it's an email. I'm not hard to find. I'm not hard to get to. I'm not hard to communicate with. Who do you think should take over the overnights at WFAN? I don't know. I thought for sure it was going to be Gordon Damer, but maybe Gordon Damer can't do it. I'm happy for Tommy with the Lug hours after hours. Like, Tommy's been there forever, and Tommy's been screaming to anybody who will listen that he's the future of WFAN, and the future is now. So, man, I'm happy for like Tommy to get his own show, because he was doing the Lug hour, which was like a 24-minute show. And you can't really get into a flow of you do your open and you have topics, but you really got to focus on one topic, and you can't really get into a flow of like talking all around that one topic and taking calls, because then it's the music hits you, and then I'm coming on. So for Tommy to go from 24 minutes to 5 hours, I'm extremely happy for him to get the floor and get that platform and kind of make it his own. Tommy's a big like EDM house music guy. I am too. And you usually hear that influence in his show. And I think the whole after hours thing is like a club vibe. And I think Tommy's got a great opportunity to like run with that. I think in 2026, I think Tommy's got a great chance to make that his own. And I'm very interested to see what he does when baseball comes around, because now for 4 baseball seasons, that's been Yankee talk. And then the last 2 years, it goes from me to Big Mac, where you listen to the fan. Yeah, we'll talk about the Mets. There's Colby Parkinson. Get going. Hold on to the ball. All right, Colby Parkinson. We're on the board, folks. We're on the board at least. I'm sick over Kenneth Walker on my bench with 30 points, but at least now Colby Parkinson's got to have something. I'm playing against A.J. Barner. A.J. Barner has 190. Was there a flag on that play? He got 20 yards, no? 15 yards? Little flea flicker action? Get him in the end zone. Get Colby Parkinson in the end zone. Get Parkinson going. Look for him again. Parkinson. Stafford, slow, running out of bounds. So Parkinson now has 260. So officially now I am winning in fantasy, but I know I'm going to lose because I got 30 points on the bench. You got to be kidding me. Here are my running backs in fantasy. I'll start from worst and we'll get to the best. Chuba Hubbard, Kyle Monungai, Travis Etienne, Josh Jacobs. And I have Kenneth Walker, and I don't even know where to place him. I don't even know where to play him at. Like I said, he was trashed the last 2 weeks, and of course he shows up now and he's on my bench. And then let's say I do survive. Do I play him next week? No, because he'll probably suck next week. It's the tricky thing in fantasy, bro. Circle of trust is tough. The circle of trust is really tough. Chris Gomes again. What's good, Keith? What's good? Myron says, Keith, this way is the future. I know this way is the future. I know. You got to do both. You have to do both. Like, you can be on the radio. And I thank God that I went to school for radio. I did a bunch of podcasts, and then I got the opportunity to go on the radio and learn how to do a radio show. I'll never not know how to do a good radio show. I'll never forget how to go about, oh, that was a high snap and it gets blocked. Did it go? False start. Okay, false start. They're going to repeat the down. What happened here? I'm trying to see. Who got a hand on it? Guy jumped over the center and blocked that. No, that was low. The guy that jumped over the center didn't get a piece of it. He like kicked it under him. "41-yard attempt. And it's good. Rams regain the lead, 16-14 now. Pam, have a good night. Get your rest. Prioritize your rest. It's 10:03 p.m. Do you know where your children are? All right, be right back. I I got a pill pop. I got a pill pop for optimal sleep. Let's see here. These lights are like, I don't want the reflection. There we go. I don't want to switch the vibe up. Be right back, and I can take that away because I'm right back. I like the way the purple looks, but what vibe do I want to go with? I think I want to go not red. Green is usually cool. Blue. Let's go mostly like a blue. And let's go with like a rotating. Let's go with like a rotating blue. No, it's too fast. Yeah, that's a little better. I'm definitely gonna stay on till like 11, but I gotta sleep tonight. Got dinner reservations tomorrow. Got a lot to do tomorrow. I've been working harder. I've been working harder now than I've been when I was working before. I'll be more like really hitting it and grinding it. Nish says, "Bro, need you to come back to WFAN." And you know what's cool, Nish? That is a possibility. Nobody got fired. Nobody burned any bridges. That is a possibility. You feel me? God is great. You know, when that happens, that's going to hit. When that happens, that's going to hit crazy, you know? All right, now we got a little motion. We got a little motion on the lights. I'll put this mic here. And we'll get back to the chat and the conversations at hand. Most of these conversations end up being about me, crazy enough. Most of these conversations end up being about me. The Rams are up 16-14. Shout out to the good folks over at Live on Assist for providing the score board up there. I just adjusted it because I realized it was cut off a little bit, but that's okay. People in the chat, I am doing you a disservice because I am not getting to everybody quickly. It's not because I'm ignoring anybody. Even the haters, even the skeptics, even the people that have the audacity to call me a liar. You call me a liar? I ain't got to lie to you. You ain't got to lie, Craig. I ain't got to lie to you. You can read through all my raps. I ain't told you nan lie. Would you do afternoon with Carton? I would fill in. I would do any time slot. That's another thing too. Like, it's deeper than rap. It's deeper than rap. I don't know how to explain it. I love WFAN. I love the radio platform. I specifically love New York, and our radio is different than any other country or any other station in the country. And I don't know if you guys listen or not, but like it's really not even close. Like, let me turn this camera a little bit. It's really not even particularly close. Like, if you have the Odyssey app and you've never listened to Chicago or Milwaukee or Philly is probably, better, or Boston or Kansas City, like Miami. In New York, specifically WFAN, they have hosts on all day, every day. Like, you can listen at night and get good shows from me and Chris McMonagle. Well, you could in the past. Me and Chris McMonagle get good shows, arguably better than some of the stuff you hear during the day. There are other parts in the country where it's automated, where the hosts at night are the D list. They're not the talent. But, WFAN always is going to have talent. They're always going to have backups and understudies and fill-in talent. And, they don't need me. And I knew that. I wouldn't say they don't want me because it was my decision, but they have a bunch of people that want to be on the airwaves is WFAN. Now, what I'll say is I knew something had to give, and I knew that something had to give in regards to my schedule and at my at home life, and so I gave up my time slot, and I don't regret the decision. It was necessary, and what has come since has been amazing, to be honest with you. Do I miss doing the show? Not for me. I miss doing the show for other people. I'm doing a show right now. I've been live online for how long has this been going on? I don't even know. An hour and 36 minutes on TikTok. Longer on Twitter and Instagram since 8:15 on 2 hours almost on not Instagram, on YouTube and X. It's a blessing to have an audience. It's a blessing to have eyes and ears and attention. It's a blessing to be someone that anyone cares about. I've already done the work to become that. I've already done the work to get there. And from what I'm seeing is I'm not going the other way. You know what I'm saying? I could have left WFAN and people unfollowed. No one unfollowed. More people followed. I could have left WFAN and been quiet and not done anything and kind of tucked my tail. I think if I got fired, I probably would have been a little bit ashamed and a little bit down, where it would have been harder to be I was I was going live though every day I was going live showing you my announcement went viral. So I'm chilling, bro. I the number one thing for me was being better at home for wifey and for my son, and I've been good dad. I've been good husband. Happy wife, happy life. Make sure your wife is straight, bro. Make sure your son is straight, bro. And I might have let down some people that listen to my radio show. I was letting down 2 people that I love the most that never listened to the show. So, anyway, back to this show, since I've had to do that for 3,000 times on these lives, and I don't mind it at all. Like I said, it's a blessing to have you watching wherever you're watching from. Can we get a roll call in the chat? I'll start. I'm in Hoboken. Well, I always say I'm in Hoboken, but I'm in like, my address is Jersey City. Jersey City in the house. You are watching. That's in the TikTok chat. Jersey City. But like the closest path train to me, I'm not closer to Journal Square. I'm also not closer to Newport. It's closest for me to get on the path train at Hoboken. So I always say Hoboken, no joking, because I go out and eat in Hoboken. I can go out and get drinks in Hoboken. I can go out in Jersey City, Hoboken. I've been in Jersey City, Hoboken area for since 2018. And the year before that, I was in Bayonne. So like I'm in that area right outside the Holland Tunnel. And I've been, How about the Knicks winning after a long party in Vegas for a game that didn't count but meant something? They have a winning culture. They have winning players. They have a winning coach. Don't lay down. Don't go lose to the Pacers. The Pacers have 6 wins. That would have been a huge letdown after being the Cup champions, right? That's why I said they have a killer instinct when it's winning time. They know how to go close out games. They know how to go finish the job. That bodes well. If the Knicks stay healthy, they're going to be in the mix. So let's see. I said I was rocking from Jersey City, NJ, Middletown, NJ, Jersey Shore, White Plains, Hastings, New York. And in StreamYard, we got Jersey, Elizabeth, Staten Island, Odessa, Texas. Is that true, John Rubio? Are you out in Odessa, Texas? They got good high school football out there. Union. Myron says, I'm in Miami. Right, Mr. 305. Just had dinner at O'Neill's. O'Neill's? There's an O'Neill's. When I think of O'Neill's, I think of London. Fort Lee. Yeah, Fort Lee is nice. I like that area. Shout out to Mitch in Fort Lee that calls a fan. He doesn't even live in Fort Lee anymore, but he still goes by the moniker Mitch in Fort Lee. Orange County, 845. Oh, O'Neill's in Hoboken. I don't know why I'm thinking about London. I'm always thinking about London. I haven't been able to get there in recent time. Last time I went to London was my baby moon. Took my wife there because my wife was pregnant. It was like our last trip before our son was born. What should the Yanks do, in your opinion, to get back to the World Series? Hit in the postseason. Find hitters that can hit in the postseason. They're going to have the pitching. They're going to have way more pitching than they really even need. Find hitters that can hit in the postseason. Let's see here. I mean, it's 23-14 Rams. Still not over that. And now AJ Barner has more points than Kobe Parkinson. I'm still not over. I'm about to lose in fantasy. But you know what? I'm not even mad if I lose in fantasy because the fantasy manager set it up where the team with the most points scored in the regular season gets their $100 buy-in back. So I already broke even. I'd like to win the whole thing, but I won't be tripping off of not losing anything. Vic Sylvain says, good stuff tonight, Keith. I'm hanging out, man. Especially, people like, yo, we miss you, bro. You don't have to miss me. I'm right here. I'm very available. I'm just not available till 2 a.m. I haven't been up at 2 a.m. since. I'm asleep usually every night by 12. Always rooted for you professionally since you're also from Monmouth County. Appreciate it, Jim. anybody from my area, the Jersey Shore, Monmouth County, Ocean, anybody from Jersey, I root for. You know, it's like especially in New York, like somebody said something to me when they saw my picture from holding the sign up there, like you from New York and your Timbs look like that. First off, I'm not from New York. Like something like you claim to be from New York and your Timbs look like that. First off, I'm not from New York. I don't claim to be from New York. I don't pretend to be from New York. I'm from New Jersey. I don't know how many times I gotta say it. I don't even seem like, what borough do I seem like I would be from? Like, what part of New York do I even seem like I would be from? I'm from the shore. I'm from Monmouth County. And then my Timbs, why do my Timbs look like that? One, because I don't lace them. I don't tie them. And two, because those are my backup Timbs. It snowed the other day. I'm walking to the train. I'm in the dirty-ass subway. I'm walking in the streets. It's got that brown, dirty-ass snow. I'm not wearing my good butters out there. I'm not wearing my good Timbs. Like, you know, that's what people do on the internet, though. People do that on the internet. On the internet, they just like, they weren't there. They just want to say stuff. So I'll let them get their little takes off or whatnot. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Here, I'm gonna change the lights again. I want to change this camera a little bit. Oh, I know. Now that I'm rolling, I can't even go into the camera settings. Let's see. Elgato camera hub. Okay, yeah, I can. Boom. Oh no, it's locked. Yeah, it's locked once I got in there. It's fine. And I don't mind this like revolving blue hue that I've set. It like moves a little bit. I know. Parkinson has one catch for 18 yards. I'm so cooked. So cooked. And I got 30 points from Kenneth Walker sitting on the bench. Yeah. John Rubio says he is from Odessa, Texas. They filmed Friday Night Lights there at Permian High School. Don't I know it? When Booby knock him out, Booby gonna do it with Black Knights on his feet. Bro, I'm a football player. I don't know how many times I used to watch Friday Night Lights. I saw it in the theater. And he can pass. Booby Miles. Everybody wanted to be Booby Miles, bro. That's legendary out there. Their high school football. How bad do you think the MLB lockout's going to be? Cancels 2027 season. I don't think it's going to cancel the season. It might be a shortened season. I just think it's too stupid. There's too much money in baseball right now for these guys to let it lock out, but they're going to lock out because they're going to need to negotiate. They're not going to come to agreements. The players are going to say, kiss my ass. We're not doing a salary cap. And I mean, let the Dodgers three-peat, and then it's really up. It's really like it's a wrap. Dan says, followed you on X for so long, had no idea you had TikTok. Yeah, I had no idea I had TikTok. Nah, I told my story. I got on TikTok when Gary Vee said to get on TikTok in 2018, and I just didn't like the platform so much. I didn't like the way like little girls were dancing and whatnot. I felt like it wasn't for me, and I got off of it for years. And then when the platform exploded, I was like, yo, I got to get back on. And I had way more followers on X. I had way more followers on Instagram. And now I'm playing catch up on TikTok. And like I said, I just downloaded the TikTok Studio. What is this? See, I don't know. I'm looking at, so BT, Salicata posted something with BT. And Sal, it went on Stugat's show. I would like to, I'm going to watch him on Stugat's show and read what he said. I just bookmarked the tweets. Shout out to Sal, bro. Shout out to Salicata. I don't have anything bad to say about Salicata. You might not care for his shtick or his way or his approach or him yelling or him talking about the Yankees, but, you know, as a man, as I'm talking about real shit, as I'm talking about being a father, being a husband, being a a solid dude. He's a solid dude, and he's holding it down for his family. And I wish him the best of luck. And I know he's good. He's already got the job at SNY, but he's gonna get other opportunities for sports content on mics and cameras. And that's a good segue into something I was trying to tell people too. If you're not paying attention out here to how the landscape is shifting for sports and entertainment, it's all going to the content creators. Like for Big Cat and for Part of My Take and for Eric, who's a JMU guy, for those guys to be getting an 8-figure deal from Netflix to do their podcast on Netflix, bro. What? Like it's a beautiful time, because if you can talk sports, if you can entertain, if you can, do ad reads, if you can get in and out of breaks, if you can interview people, if you can make people laugh, be entertaining, there's a lot of platforms looking for those types. There's a lot of platforms interested in making the next podcast or the next show around sports, because sports draw the most eyes in America, specifically the NFL. But like NBA's got great ratings, or not great ratings, but like NBA Cup, I think, had decent ratings, and baseball's ratings were up more than ever. More people than ever just watched this last World Series. And I consider myself a baseball, football guy. If you can talk those two sports and you have a little bit of a following, there is a lot of money going into creating these podcasts, these shows that are getting streamed, that people are watching, these pregame, postgame shows, these traveling Pat McAfee type shows. So yeah, if you're thinking about getting into it, now's a good time. I would hurry up if I were you. I thank God that I got into it when I did. I thank God that I made a decision that I made in 2018 to quit my social media job and say, hey, I'm going to start making podcasts and content. I want people to see me. I want people to hear me. Maybe I can do it one day. I thought it was going to take 10 years. It took 3. Like, I had a full-time social media job in 2018, quit that, and then I had a full-time radio job in 2021. That's the grace of God. That was quick. Let's see. Monmouth Racetrack. Rich, you know the deal. I used to stay at Monmouth Racetrack, losing my last $150. Luca Lechoso in the chat on YouTube. What's good, Brody? I'm not ignoring you guys on YouTube, on X. I see you. On X, Jeffrey says, Positive Tommy might go away after hours. I don't think Positive Tommy's ever going away. And what I really hope for Tommy is, with his after-hour show and him being the nighttime guy and that being his slot, like, I hope it gives him power. I hope it gives him more confidence than ever. I hope it gives him just this air of, like, I made it. I'm the guy. I run this. When I'm on, it's my time. Like, and I think he's been there long enough to know that. I think Tommy's going to own that spot. It ain't going to be no KM to AM, but he will make it his own. He will make it his own. 3rd and 3 here. Still got my eyes on the Seahawks. Down 9 to the Rams. Get it to Colby. Get it to Colby. Get it to Colby. Just Puka again. Puka's been eating. Hopefully they throw the ball to Colby Parkinson. Jim says, Keith, is this a daily thing for you now? So not daily. What I'll say I've been doing is, whenever there's something that can be streamed on Amazon Prime, I can hook up my monitor here, and then I can, go live. So NBA Cup, NBA games on Amazon Prime I've been doing. Thursday Night Football I've been doing. Can't do Monday Night Football. I have Fubo TV, and Fubo TV overrides the external monitor. I've also been doing these quick lives when news breaks. Like, I think I went live for Pete Alonso. I went live for Luke Weaver. I went live. I did do one Monday Night Football, but I did it in my living room. And, I'm not really looking to do it out there. It sounds better in here. It looks better in here. This is my studio space that I set up all this stuff. So what I'll say this is just a way for me to build my online presence, for me to also stay sharp as far as speaking on a mic, engaging with people, talking sports, and sharing my life story. And then when the time comes in 2026, whether I stay at WFAN in some other full-time capacity and that materializes, or I sign with another network or company or whatever, we'll see. But I've just really leaned into the social media aspect these last 3 weeks that I haven't been on air. And it's been fun to like rediscover the evolution of each platform and how things have changed, and to have people watching and listening and be growing in that way. So, Lenny Scarola says, is this your job now? You got 28 dudes in here. We're going to have to start a GoFundMe. Start the GoFundMe. Start it now. Send me the link. I'll repost it. I'm sure I got more followers than you do. So 28 dudes in here. It's 18 now. And it goes up and down. It fluctuates. If there were 4 people in here, if it was Rich, if it was Pam, if it was Ray and Myron, I would do the exact same thing. You know, I was always telling my football stories on the fan. My mom got mad at me when I was a kid because she's like, "Oh, we're coming to the game. Your aunt is coming. This your cousin's coming. This person's coming." I'm like, "Okay." And she's like, "You're not excited?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna play the same whether there's 100 people, 100,000 people. Like I'm not doing it for the crowd size. I'm not performing any better or less because of how many people are watching. I'm just doing me." Good evening, Keith. Why don't the Giants offer defensive coordinator job to Carl Banks? Shout out to Carl. Carl is not a coach. And where has Carl Banks coached? Did I miss that? Did he coach when he was younger? Let me see. Carl Banks, Wikipedia. I don't think he coached. He's an analyst. He calls the game. He's an analyst. He dissects the game. I don't remember him coaching. Post-football career. He was a part owner of the Arena Football League New Jersey Red Dogs. He was a director of player development. He's a voice. He's an analyst. And I don't think he wants to coach. You guys understand these coaches are there all day? These coaches spend all day in the facility watching film and preparing. Christopher says, "Keith, what's good, bro? Miss you on the fan." Appreciate the misses. Appreciate all the miss you on the fan. Send that to my bosses. Send that to the WFAN email. Go write that on the WFAN TikTok page. We miss Keith. I'm right here. I'm not hiding, and I'm not unavailable, man. But there is a lot of change going on at the station. I stepped down, and when one person steps down, somebody else, next man up. And I think you've got to hear a lot of other voices. You may not be used to them like you got used to me. You may not like me at all. You may not like them, but it's a radio station that is always going to exist. It's a radio station that's always going to have talent and always going to have people doing shows. So, yeah, I did what I did. I ran my race for 4 years, and I'm more content than ever. Like I feel good about that. Like I look at guys like Calvin Johnson or Barry Sanders. They were great at their jobs, and that's a tough comp because they were Lions fans, but they ran their race. They were done when they were done. Even a guy like Andrew Luck, he said, "I'm done." There's a lot of pressure and expectations and things that people don't realize, and you got to just make sure you're good. I was not in a good spot, so I think I've gone over it a bunch. Did you like how the Mets took that prospect from the Yanks? What was that? The catcher? That lower level stuff I'm not really on. I don't know, that type of stuff. It hits the timeline and it does not register for me. It's like that that's something that might never even materialize. Like we might hear about that now and then never hear about it again. Oh no, they took that off of waivers from the Orioles. Drew Romo. 00HMS says, "Yo, Keith, you are the GOAT, big inspiration." That's another thing too, man. I've had multiple people hit me up, say, "Yo, I quit my job." And I'm like, I'm not trying to encourage you guys to quit your jobs now. I didn't step down from my job so that you guys would quit your jobs. Like that's not the message I was trying to send. If you're gonna quit your job, make sure you're all right. Make sure you got a plan. Make sure you're set up. Another Puka Nacua pass touchdown. I knew Puka was gonna eat tonight with all the criticism and all of the scrutiny over the live stream. I'm like, Puka is back to where he was when Cooper Kupp was hurt and there was no Devontae Adams. Leo Card said, how did you start? When I was 16, I was the varsity quarterback at Ocean Township High School, and they needed someone to call the Pop Warner football games at, our high school football field. So I stepped up. I think it was like $50 for the day, and I started broadcasting then. That was the first time I really got on a microphone, loudspeaker, welcomed people to the stadium, called the game, and yeah, I'll always remember somebody's dad walked up, and there were a lot of people's dads walking up. Hey, you pronounced this name wrong. Hey, you said this wrong. Hey, that's not mine. But there was somebody's dad who planted a seed with me that grew. He said, you have a good voice, you're young, and you're handling this well. You should major in communication. And I had no idea what that meant. And even when I went to school at James Madison, I went in undeclared because I didn't care about school. I didn't care about what I was like, I came here to play football. I came here to meet girls. I came here to drink beers and party. But then when I transferred back home to Monmouth University, I'm like, I'm a communication major, and I specifically want to, focus on radio and television. So that's where I got started. You're right. You need to do a Yankee post-game podcast. Joe Papa, I would say we could do something like a live post-game. But I keep telling folks with the podcast, it's not like the podcast game has changed, bro. They're paying people millions of dollars for podcasts now. I'm not about to start up a mom and pop podcast. It's going to be gigante. McPherson brand, what up, Cam? You still the inevitable. Keep doing your thing. JP, you already know what time it is, Brody. You already know what time it is. So shout out to JP. JP saw me this season at Yankee Stadium, and he nicknamed me the inevitable because when you're talented, it's only a matter of time. When you're good at what you do, it's only inevitable that you're going to shine. So JP nicknamed me the inevitable, and what he said, and this was earlier in the season, he's like, you're the inevitable. You're going to be on during the day. And little did JP know, the summer was passing us by, and I hadn't been on during the day. I hadn't been asked to do any fill-in spots. I'd been grinding away doing the night. And then I got asked to do Boomer and Geo for the first time in 4 years. I got asked to fill in on Boomer and Geo, nationally televised. And then I did BT and Sal solo. And then I think I did Evan and Tiki on Labor Day solo. So, he had a feeling, he had a hunch, he was right. The inevitable happened. What about Antonio Pierce? Nexus TV Plus. Oh, I should have hit you, Nexus, so we could have streamed on Twitch. Antonio Pierce is DC for the Giants. I got a feeling that he wants to be a head coach. He's doing television right now. It did not really work out for him as a head coach with the Raiders. I'm not really so big on the let's bring back the old guys and let's restore the feeling with them. Get me a good coach. This Giants defense has been terrible for a long time. If they were to bring in Antonio Pierce and remain terrible, people would hate him. He was a good player. I don't know how much of a good coach he is. Felt for you after the Knicks lost to the Pacers game 1. That was a tough night to be on air. I love that you said that because I'm a Nets fan. And I don't remember my show, but I just remembered doing Ranger shows, and I'm a Devils fan. I remembered the Knicks, run up to that point where on ESPN they call the Knicks games, and then they do the post game, and then they go to their national show. So in New York City, I am the first voice that people are going to hear after the Knicks game goes final. And I learned from Evan, who is a Knicks hater and always is talking about the Nets and nobody cares. That's not going to hit. And I also learned from myself as a troll, when the Nets were good, I trolled the hell out of Knicks fans. And then that karma bit us in the ass and the Nets blew up. And it was like, well, damn. That sucks. And so my approach was to talk to the city. My approach was, it's not about me. I'm just driving the bus. I'm driving this New York Nick bus, and I am bringing in audio. So I would have my producers get audio from the call. I am talking to the emotions of the fans. That was a ridiculous game, but that's not a time to get on air and needle fans about like blowing that game. That's a time where you lean in and you kind of take the sympathy and the emotions and the pain of that, and you convey how disappointing that loss was and how that was going to shift the entire Eastern Conference Finals. Jim Fraley says, great analogy. KM to AM, miss hearing you on the radio dial, bro. Just give it time. What I will say is, you don't do 4 years and get to the level that I got and then just disappear completely. When you prove it for 4 years, when you're somebody that does it for 4 years at a level that people enjoy, you'll be back. You'll be back. Whether it's WFAN or elsewhere. And like I said, my loyalty lies with WFAN. I'm still under contract, but I understand right now it's a crazy time. It's the holiday time. It's a transitional time. And I am not going to my bosses demanding to be put on air. I'm chilling. I asked to be off. So what would I look like now? I asked to be off. So what would I look like now being like, hey, I want back in? They go, are you nuts? Get out of here. And I am nuts for sitting Kenneth Walker. He's balling. Kenneth Walker probably has 35 points now. I'm sick. Ugh. He's got 34.5 points on my bench. And, like, this is the game you draft him for. In the playoffs, he's freaking balling out. But I'm just like, I didn't think he'd do anything against the Rams defense. So when is the best way to know you are live? Follow me and put post notifications on Twitter and Instagram. Also, YouTube, because those alert you. When I schedule the live on StreamYard, it alerts you on YouTube. And what I've been trying to do is let people know in advance. Like, you know, like I think, shout out to Live on Assist. I think I clipped up my NBA Cup live to be like, yo, I'll be live tonight. Sam Darnold, 2nd and goal. What do you got here? He runs away too soon. He's got to throw the ball away. Do you like Ross and Bergen? I do. Ross is a young man. And Ross is connected to me because I'm pretty sure he was like a freshman when I started and graduated as a senior this past summer. And he shared a message with me that, you know, I hope he doesn't mind me sharing. But, you know, through my show and him being a consistent caller on my show and me even coming up with like a one-liner for him, I would say, Ross is in Bergen County. Ross is on the Fan every day. And I would bring him in. You know, Ross kind of got some credibility at school. His street cred at school went up because, you know, other kids heard him on WFAN. That's a pick, Sam Darnold. AKA Same Darnold, folding in a big game. Same Darnold. Pick. Same Darnold. I got to tweet that. Same Darnold. Folding in a big game. Seeing ghosts. Picked. Yeah, so I don't mind Ross at all. And I also got to meet Ross and meet his dad. And they came to Fanatics Fest, and they're solid. And, like, I got nothing bad to say about them. Keith, do you think the Yanks would have to give up, or Keith, what do you think the Yanks would have to give up to get a Peralta McGill package? Jason Dominguez, Spencer Jones, maybe Cam Schlittler. I don't know. Talking to people on Twitter. You know what? I appreciate people like this that I'm seeing right now. You know, some people are starting to do the Lord's work. You know, I'm not responding to every troll and hater. But Brandon goes, is it Brandon? No, let's see. Adam says, bro went from WFAN to Twitter laughing my ass off. Like, people do not see the vision, and that is okay. People do not understand what is going on right now. And then parking lot pinstripes goes, "What do you do?" And the guy goes, "I work private security." And he's got a picture of his baby. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that alone. But I just peeped that on my Twitter. I'm like, oh, somebody defended me on Twitter. Cool. Cool. They need a slate of WFAN podcasts that you can be featured on. Maybe. Like WFAN has the Rico Bronya. WFAN has Unkillable. WFAN has the Rangers podcast with Boomer and CeeLo. WFAN has WFAN Daily with Pete Hoffman. WFAN has Me Here, You There with Steve Summers. Like they have a good slate of podcasts. But again, if and when I do a podcast, it is going to be grandiose. What percentage chance do you think Joe Shane gets fired? There's no way they can bring him back. The scary part about this is he should have been fired already. And I feel like I think they're about to keep him. And that's going to be a mistake because they've done it before like that. I think that's going to be a mistake. They'll probably lose to the Vikings this week, but then they'll beat the Raiders, and then they won't have the number 1 pick. And I just think that you should want the next head coach to come in with a GM together, start this whole thing over. But history repeats itself, and I think the Giants are doomed to make the same exact mistake of getting rid of the head coach and keeping a GM that made it harder for that head coach. Rich says, "Will you ever guest at WFAN?" Full transparency. Yes. But that is not up to me. Like, I never decided who goes on air. And like I just jokingly said, I stepped down. I think it'd be hella weird for me to like text my bosses and be like, "Hey, when are you putting me on?" Now, if you want to say guest, will you ever guest at WFAN? Like, will I ever be like a guest? Like, hey, calling in right now is Keith McPherson. Definitely. And like what I see in the future is being able to do that. And like, even though I'm not a full-time host, I'm forever part of the family. I'm forever part of the fraternity where like, all right, let's say I get into acting and I start doing movies. Let's say I go back into modeling and doing casting calls, and let's say I'm in a streaming show. I'm playing a football coach. Why can't I call back to WFAN as a guest or come back on in some type of capacity? That's far-fetched. Let's say I'm doing like television. Let's say I go on to do MLB Network or Yes Network or Rashid Shaheed. Wow. Right back in it. This is a good game. Right back in it. Rashid Shaheed, if you played him in fantasy, huh? It's packed out there. 12th man. Oh, that's why Sam Darnold was wearing the number 12 on his hand warmer. I'm like, remember, I'm so dumb. I'm like, why is he wearing a number 12 hand warmer? Who's number 12? The 12th man. They're in Seattle. That's their whole thing out there. The fans are the 12th man. He's doing it to honor the fans. Nobody even answered that in the chat. Anyway, I see myself. I see myself being like Mark Malusis did today. Mark Malusis has been let go by WFAN a few times. He still comes back and does guest appearance fill-in shows. Cooper Kupp with the 2-point conversion. Now they're down 8. Still in this game. But again, I don't make those decisions. I made the decision that I could no longer do nights. And that decision could be a decision that says, okay, get the F out of here. But like not in that, like not like that. Like it could be like all right, then you can't do nights, you can't do anything. And I was prepared for that, but I don't think that's going to be the case, fellas, to be honest with you. And I'm a team player. I'm a good guy. I'm available, and they know I'm available. And when the time comes, they'll put it on the schedule, and I'll announce it. Hey, I'm filling in for whomever, or hey, I'm doing this show on a Saturday or a Sunday. But like, people also have to realize like Christmas is in a week. The end of the year is in 2 weeks. Things are winding down. Things are slowing down. That's why people like, I think somebody was like, is this your new job? And more and more it shows me how much people don't know about business. Like my wife works in hiring. They are not just hiring people right now. Like, and specifically, like I have a radio on-air person. Oh, he dropped the ball. He picked it up. I have a radio on-air personality job. It's talent. It's public facing. It's not as simple as that. And also another thing that people should put together is I'm gonna say, doesn't matter. Got right back in this game. The other thing that people should realize with me is, if this guy quit WFAN to go to another company, wouldn't he have that job lined up where he would have, like, who quits to go to another company in November, December? I decided to enjoy the holidays, and in the interim, put some time and effort into my social media digital presence, which is only going to grow and stay with me forever as I grow and become whatever I become. Some people starting to pick up what I'm putting down, I believe. Ray says, we have to try and link up at a Yankee game. Yeah, just let me know, bro. I'm everywhere in there. I ain't hard to find. Myron says, Sam Darnold is just not good. Told you, Keith. This game is over. Yeah, you said that 8 minutes ago. And then Rashid Shaheed returns it. Let's see. Is he still doing radio? Heard he got fired. Phase 114X. You're talking to the guy. You don't have to talk to the chat. He said, last comment sounded mean. I deleted it. My bad. It's not mean. I don't take it as mean. Like it could be mean. But I've been getting that for weeks. And you don't think I was prepared for that as well? I'll clear it up for you. I've been clearing it up for folks. Matthew Stafford, 3rd and 7. Big 3rd and 7 here. Under 8 minutes left. Drops back. Looks to pass. Rush comes in. Spins out to his left. Finds a receiver downfield. Kanata Mumfield. Incomplete. Adam says, I'm all for you spreading your wings outside of WFAN. I think I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I could touch the sky. I think about it every night and day, Adam. I could spread my wings and fly outside of WFAN for sure. But again, I'm not trying to there's no burn bridge, there's no hard feelings. I'm not trying to like put a middle finger to WFAN and be like, F it, I'm out. Watch what I'm like. That wasn't the case. I could not work nights anymore. There was no daytime job available for me. I transitioned out of nights full time into a part-time role, and it's the end of the year and the lineup is changing. And like, you guys gotta, if you step out of it and take a look, like I'm a small cog in all of this because like my spot is already filled and replaced on air. But there were over 20 different people at WFAN, from Dove to Rich Ackerman to Marco Belletti to guys like Andrew Bogish, Pete Bellotti, Carlos Ortiz. Like these are guys that you guys might not know, but like they're being let go. And some of these guys had been there for 15, 20 years, 25 years, the fabric of the station. And like collectively, all of those guys being fired, being let go, to me is way bigger than Keith McPherson saying, I got to take care of my wife and kid. I'm stepping down. I can't work nights anymore. And again, my decision was made independent of all of that. Shaheed again, you know. Like if you're paying attention, there are a lot of people, if you follow on Twitter, there are a lot of people at WFAN sending well wishes and sign-offs and farewells. There's a lot of change going on at the station. And so I don't think it's on the top of anybody's list. When are we getting Keith back on air? There's so many other things that need to be addressed and handled. It's a business. They are handling business. The Prime Vision stats broadcast is amazing. I'm not watching that. I do see they got the stats over here. And I took that off because I just was mad. I'm so mad about Kenneth Walker versus Kobe Parkinson decision that I made in fantasy. It's going to doom me. It's going to be the dumbest thing I did in fantasy all year. Leave 34 points on the bench for Kobe Parkinson, who I picked up a couple days ago, to have 3 points. I don't even think he has 3. I'm off that. Jim, thank you. If you're going to sleep, get your rest. Oh, my God. And I'm playing against A.J. Barner. I'm cooked. Fuck. I'm cooked, bro. I'm about to lose in fantasy for sure. Why'd you leave, Keith? For 2.5 years, I was not sleeping right. For 2.5 years, I was leaving my son at night and not being able to get up in the morning. And I got to my 4-year mark, and I was like, yeah, I think that's time. I think that's a presidential term. I think that's a 4-year college degree. I'm going to bow out here. They're going for 2 to tie it, folks. They are going for 2 to tie it. Sam Darnold, I was ready to say that you fold in big games. Sam Darnold, I am sorry. Sam Darnold, I retract my statement. Rumble, young man, rumble. Yeah, Rich, I wasn't listening, and then I went back because, they gave Ack a send-off. And not a bad word about Ack out of anybody, bro. Like, did you get rid of the New York Yankees subway map? No, it's there. It's there. It's just dark in here. Like, my LED lights, I don't like the reflection off of the New York Post with Jeter and Judge. But yeah, it's still there. It is still very much there. We might be doing this for a little bit longer, folks. Might have OT. Myron just said, let's go OT. Good game. Very good game. You watched the Knicks game? No, I've been watching this game. One screen in here. CT Dad said, always love hearing you on the fan. Thanks, dude. Internet is easier to quantify than radio. You can't tell how many people are listening on radio, My haters would be like, nobody listens to this guy's show. Clearly not. Clearly not. Kevin says, turn off the fan. WFAN or the fan? You guys hearing? There's no fan in here. There's no fan in here. That's because the architect is obsessed with Craig. Nah. I've defended Craig. I've done a lot of defense of Craig. Craig helped build the station to what it is known for. I know it's his 3rd stint, but Craig is a radio legend and an icon and someone that is going to give the station a big pop. You know what I'm saying? Like, that return of Craig Carton is going to be a big pop for the start of the year, and it was inevitable. Padres are re-signing Michael King? Well, here we go. Padres are re-signing Michael King, so he won't be coming to the Yankees. I thought they weren't trying to spend. I thought they were trying to trade off. What? Whatever, yo. Michael King in New York, not going down. So then the story about the Yankees not making moves, not doing stuff continues. Right-hander Michael King and the San Diego Padres are in agreement on a 3-year, $75 million contract, sources tell ESPN. The deal allows King to opt out after the 2027 and 2028 seasons. Mark Feinsand was first on the news. Jeff Passan reports at 10:57 p.m. Game's tied 30-30 with 6:23 left. Might not be OT because somebody can get a field goal out here. But anyway, breaking news. Michael King signs back with the Padres. So that dream of reuniting him with the Yankees is done, cooked. Well, I told you guys I don't think they're going to get Imai Tatsuya. And expect a potential trade for a starter from the Yankees. They're not spending money on a starter. They're not spending money. I don't know who they're going to pay for. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who the Yankees are going to spend money on. I don't know who the Yankees are going to pay for. Because I don't expect them to be the highest bidder for Bellinger. I don't expect them to go to the years or the AAV for Bellinger. Would love for you to answer this. Why does New York City sports radio never talk hockey? Now, I'll speak only to my experience. When I first came in, I didn't know any hockey. Pequeño, un poco, very little NHL. And I was literally told by people, don't worry about it. I was literally told by people, you're never going to have to know that much about it for long on air. Like, don't stress it. But I took it upon myself to start watching the Devils. And shout out to the Devils last night. A big shootout win against the Vegas Knights. And incomplete. Going for Parkinson, who I need. Now Stafford's hurt. Devils win last night, 2-1 against the Golden Knights. Connor Brown, Jesper Bratt, Cody Glass, Brett Pesce, guys holding it down. Jake Allen, guys holding it down while Jack Hughes is still out, but supposedly getting back to skating and doing some activities. CT Dad 77, I'll say this. I went out of my way to make a whole bit about looking for a hockey team, and whatever hockey team brings me in, you'll have a fan on the fan, and the Devils did so, and so I started talking Devils on WFAN. But it was never stressed to me. It was never told to me. And even, like I said, when the Rangers went on their run, where they eventually lost to the Panthers a couple years ago, I was on those nights. Like Chris Kreider, natural hat trick. Like I had to watch those games. I had to get my knowledge up. I had to be ready to talk to anybody in New York who wanted to talk Rangers hockey. But we never get that many calls. And football and baseball dominate the day. And also in this modern day time with the Knicks being good, you never have to open up hockey. Now, you know who opened up hockey? Me during the Four Nations Classic, because I got on that night and I was like, there's nothing bigger to talk about. United States losing to Canada in a close one and a tough one, and even the games to qualify. So as someone who had the least hockey knowledge and no hockey fandom, I talked a lot of hockey on the Fan at Night because I had license to, because nobody was telling me, not to. But when the guys during the day are putting together shows, like it doesn't carry the day. It doesn't get the phones to light up. But Boomer's going to mention the Rangers. Sean Morash is going to talk Rangers. Once in a while, the Islanders will get a pop, but they, It depends who. Evan might mention him. Nobody really will really have a hot take or a topic about him. And if anything, it's complaining about him. And then also what I missed when my son was born, I was on paternity leave. I missed the whole Devils Rangers series where the Devils came back. I remember listening to the fan saying, yo, these Rangers hosts are all homers. Whether it was Sal, whether it was Hoff, Big Mac. I'm like, they're all crying. Nobody's giving the Devils any respect. So, yeah, that's the long and short of it with the hockey. It doesn't carry the day. There's always something to scream about with the Jets, the Giants, the Mets, the Yankees, and the Knicks. Those are the 5 teams. You don't have to talk about anything else on WFAN. Jets, Giants, Mets, Yankees, Knicks. And if you're me and you have a 5-hour show, you could break it up. Okay, we're going to open up with the Knicks. Then we'll get into the Yankees. Then we'll get into the Mets. Then we'll talk Jets. We'll close with the Giants. You can book a guest. I could book Art Stapleton. I could book Stephen Bondy. Art Stapleton to talk Giants, Stephen Bondy to talk Knicks, Brian Costello to talk Jets, or Zach Rosenblatt was my Jets guy. You know, Brian Hoke to talk Yankees. Like, you could literally set it up each hour. Okay, we're going to talk Yankees this hour. You know, joining us right now is Brian Hoke, MLB insider who covers your New York Yankees for MLB.com. Where are we in the chat now? This TikTok chat got away from me a bit. Okay, yeah, because Rich said, I love your opinions. Could see Craig and McPherson soon. Big Mac is with Craig, and Craig is with himself because Craig's show is called The Carton Show, and Big Mac will be there to back him up, kind of keep him in line, kind of correct him, and keep him on the straight and narrow as far as information and stuff. Big Mac knows his stuff. I was looking forward to Kinger. $25 million a year is crazy. It's crazy because I thought that they were like trying to sell the team. I thought that they were trying to sell off pieces. Whatever. The Yankees were not going to pay Michael King that at all. So more Yankees for clicks. Padres took out a 5th mortgage. Yeah, but they have money. They overpay everybody. Cashman isn't doing a damn thing. They should lower ticket prices. Maybe the ticket prices will be lower. Let me see. What is this? Hold on. My boy texted me. He's like, I texted. My boy said, same old Sam. I said, same Darnold. Hold on. Not done yet. I think we ain't done yet. Michael King resigned with the Padres. Tri-state area don't bang with hockey, baseball. That's another thing, bro. Like, I never really leaned into it too much because I would hate when Stephen A would say it. But Stephen A would say, only thing black about hockey is the puck. And there was this like legendary WFAN caller who called into Beningo in the overnight years ago. And he was kind of trolling and messing around. And he said something like, only thing black in hockey is the puck. And they be slapping that thing around. I don't like that, man. And, you know, they got some laughs out of people. But there's some truth to, you know, like growing up around black people, whether it's my family in Richmond, Virginia, or my family in Jacksonville, Florida, or my family in New Jersey. Never have I ever been at a birthday party or a holiday function or anything with my black family members where hockey was put on. Not once. And never will be. You know what I'm saying? Like, even now that I got into hockey over the last 4 years and literally go to Devils games and try to tell people like, yo, you know how you get into hockey? Go to the game. Don't try and watch it on TV when you don't know anything. Go to the game and see it live and experience it and take it in. And it's enticing and it's fun. And then when you watch it on TV, it's got a different feel for it. But there is a cultural divide, and NHL has tried to change that. And I've said about the Devils, I love the Devils. I think they're the blackest team in hockey. They have black jerseys, but they're also in Newark, New Jersey. There's a ton of black people, and they employ a lot of black people. They don't have black players. They had PK Subban for a little bit, but there's definitely a divide as far as like, you know, where you say the tri-state area don't bang with hockey, baseball, football, and basketball reign supreme. The tri-state area is extremely diverse. And I don't know how many black people, Hispanic, Latino, people, or even people that are from Asia, the Middle East. I don't know how many of those people are, trying to watch, Connor Bedard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how many of those people are, I don't know how many of those people care about Quinn Hughes being traded. Is anyone going to do the years on belly? The Mets. More and more, I just think it's the Mets. More and more, I think it's the Mets. The Mets are the only team I think that are going to go that far. I don't think the Yankees were going to pay Michael King that much. I don't think the Yankees are going to land Tatsuya Imai. And I just saw something on Twitter that I'm just ignoring. I don't think the Yankees are looking to break the bank at all. I think the Yankees feel like they're right there. They're content with what they have, and they don't need to do too much tweaking. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We think it's broke because they haven't gotten back to the World Series, won the World Series. Well, they got back and lost, but last year they didn't get back. But they think, hey, the team that got back was a team that we had the tiebreaker, or that had the tiebreaker on us that we tied. I didn't know you speak French. What did I say was French? Oui? Anything new on Yankees rumors? I'm checking Twitter. Because, what's the pivot now? Another guy comes off the board. I told you guys yesterday when I did the stream, I think Tatsuya Imai's got to lean towards Seiya Suzuki and Shota Imanaga, two Japanese players that are already on the Cubs. And then Jack Curry comes out and tells you today that, I don't know if he said it on Hot Stove. I've not been watching Yankee Hot Stove because there's nothing. It's Cold Stove. Yeah, Jack Curry says to stay tuned with the Yankees and Imai. But stay tuned. We've been staying tuned. And somebody clipped it and they said it seemed like a negative stay tuned. So whatever. CT Dad said, appreciate you, Keith. Yeah, I mean, like I said, of course it's the black dude with the locks that's on at night that didn't grow up watching hockey that ends up talking the most about hockey. I think the night of the Four Nation Classic, I talked about hockey the whole show. I took the most hockey calls. And then, I went to the Devils opener, and then I drove to WFAN and hosted my show after. I'm one of the only hosts that, you saw me at the hockey game. The Devils beat the Panthers, and then I'm driving from Newark to New York to host the show. But blessed, the Devils have shown me too much love. The Devils will always be one of my favorite teams, if not the favorite, because of how I came in. They treated me like a king. Bill says, are you watching this football game? Of course I am. 30-30. And I think that the Rams and their masterful head coach and quarterback, 1st and 20 here, I think that they can kill this clock and kick a field goal to win it and go. Colby Parkinson again. Okay, at least I'm getting some points off of him. Let me check what this guy's stupidest move ever, picking up Colby Parkinson, playing him today, and then putting Kenneth Walker on the bench because I have Romeo Dobbs in my flex spot. It could be him. Idiot. So stupid. I'm going to lose. Just dumb. I was down to the last 20 people in Survivor, and then I bet on Shador Sanders and the Browns, and they lose to the Titans. Dumb. And then I check my Survivor pool next week. It goes from 28 to 4. I'm like, stupid. So dumb. Thomas Joseph says, go Devils. What's up, bro? Let's go Devils. You already know, man. Saw Tom, I forget what game that was that we did. We did a vlog last year. I got to get back to Devils games. I'm just busy. I was saying one of my boys the other day, he was like, yo, come to Devils game. I'm like, bro, you don't stop doing nighttime radio to be with your family and then start popping up at Devils games, Knicks games, Nets games. It's that's not the thing. I'm very much enjoying taking my son to school, and I'm very much enjoying picking my son up. My wife came home today and she's like, I can get him. I'm like, good, go get him. I'm like, the teachers probably wonder why it's me all the time now and not you. But like, that is though I was missing those moments, man. I was missing those little moments when my son wakes up. I was missing those little moments when my son goes home because, he's in daycare for most of the day. And before that, he had a nanny. And like now that he's like a little boy, like just hearing some of the things that come out of his mouth, some of the things that he says, like I'll have these memories of this time forever. And you know how fast kids grow. If you have kids, it's like, it's fleeting, man. Even like looking at my son now, I'm like, damn, he was like now my son can go to the bathroom on his own. Like my son can walk into the bathroom and use the bathroom. Like I remember trying to potty train him. Like it goes quickly. My Nets. Yeah, the Nets lost to the Heat, but I'm not getting too carried away with the Nets. I probably will do some Nets live streams. Favorite bars, Stands? No, my favorite bar is Billy's. Shout out to Stands, though. They show me love as well. We did the Corona opening day party there. It's funny. I was just thinking about that. I'm like, WFAN should do that again. We should do another come meet Keith McPherson at Stands opening day. That field goal is not good. So we might go to overtime. What I said about the Rams being able to get a field goal here and go home, just missed. 12th man, blew it wide right. Yeah, Billy's. Just because Billy's is huge, and, I know the owners over there for years, and shout out to Joey, Joey's pops, George. Shout out to everybody over there. Like, it's a cool feeling going to Yankee Stadium for years and just like getting drunk and hanging out with the bleacher creatures and then becoming a media member and like being on TV, right? Like I would do MLB Network and then I'd come to the stadium and there'd be people at Billy's and Bodega that were like, yo, I just saw you on MLB Network. I would do the MLB Network show like 3 to 4 and then I would drive to the Bronx and by like 5:30 be in the bars with everybody and be like, bro, I just saw you wearing that same thing on TV. Like, that's so cool. And I'm like, I remember I met Joey and Billy's back when I used to run with Bronx Pinstripes like 2017, 2018. And I remember him pouring me a shot and not charging me for it. And I'm like, you a bartender? He's like, I'm the owner. And we became friends after that. So, imagine 2017, 2018, 2019. There was no season in 2020. 2021 sucked. You had to get the nose swab and the COVID test to go in. But like, I was going to the stadium consistently for like 5 or 6 years as just like a fan. And then I started doing podcasts. And then when I hit the radio and TV, it's like, people are just like super chill and super cool. Like there's like a sense of pride, like one of us. It's like, I don't know. So it's a different kind of thing. So yeah, Billy's is my spot, but Stan's is dope. Shout out to Schmitty and Kim at the dugout. And Tony at Yankee Tavern and Juan at La Bodega. And I never been in the Bronx Draft House. I'm probably forgetting somewhere else out there. Oh, Twins. How could I forget Twins? Yeah, shout out to the whole strip, bro. If you know, Yankee Land. Unless Bellinger decides he wants the Bronx in spite of money, he will go somewhere else. Rich says you can stay for the whole games. Are you still in a survivor pool? No, I got bounced. I was being stupid and I got cute and I used the Browns thinking they're gonna beat the Texans at home in the cold. No, rookie quarterback. No, Texans turned up for that game. But I'm not the type that wins money. Well, I can win some money in FanDuel if you guys see this, but like I don't win. Like I gotta make my money. I gotta earn my money. I gotta use my money maker. I'm not gonna win the survivor pool. I'm not gonna win the fantasy league. But yes, great point by Rich. We're gonna pin that. You can stay for the whole games. For the last 4 seasons, I have had to leave Yankee Stadium. I'll never forget leaving when Judge hit that 3-run bomb off Jordan Romano against the Blue Jays like 3 years ago. Never leave when Judge is going to come up. Never leave. I don't care if you got to be on the radio or not. I was like, damn, bro. I left one time And I got in the car, and John Sterling made it seem like John Carlos Stanton hit it out. Almost crashed the car. I was like, oh, John. He's like, it is high, it is far, it is caught on the warning track. Looked like he got all that one. I'm like, John, come on, bro. But you could excuse John. I love John. John is the best. Like, I just was saying, New Year's Eve is coming up, and I remember doing I think I did afternoon drive on New Year's one year. I know I did a New Year's Eve shift, and I think John Sterling called into my show. And that was the first time I got to talk to John, and I was geeked. And then the new year came, and right before spring training comes, they told me John was in the station, and I literally got my ass on the train and went to the station to meet John. And like, it was like he was glowing when I saw him. And he said, "Why, Keith, my boy, I'm a big fan." I'm like, no way. No way. He's like, of course. I listen to you from time to time at night when I'm not sleeping. You're great. True Yankee fan. I'm like, John. I started telling him all these different stories about different games he called and Yankeeography. And I'm like, you're the man. And I think, when John saw my I don't think I stopped smiling around him. I still got the picture. And I think when John saw my general enthusiasm and how excited I was to meet him and talk about the Yankees, he was like, spring training's coming up in a couple of weeks. We're heading down there. Like, are you going to go down? I'm like, yeah. He's like, stop by. Join us on the call. I'm like, okay. And so I go down to spring training in 2022. My kid wasn't born yet. I was just with my wife. I think my wife went down and just sat in the seat, and I went up and Puka Nakua again. I went up with John and Susan, and the first day I show up to spring training in a Bernie Williams jersey, a Yankees Savages shirt, Yankees shorts, Yankees flip-flops, Yankees socks. And Jason Zilla, the head of Yankees PR, is like, you can't wear that up here. You can't come into the media area like that. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, it's dress code. You got to dress neutral. I'm clearly not neutral, but I'm also very new in the media. So I take off my Yankee jersey, give it to my wife, and I turn my shirt inside out so I can go up there and meet John and Susan. And then the next day I come back, and I'm wearing a polo and some khakis, and I jump on the call. And I remember it was hilarious to me because I was so excited. I'm like getting nervous. And I don't really get nervous, but I'm looking at George M. Steinbrenner Field from their vantage point. John is to my left, Susan is to my right. And I go, yo, I'm like, this is crazy. I can't believe this. And John goes, well, it's not that much of a thrill. Yeah, John is the best, bro. This is the first day I met John Sterling, bro. And I got my ID around my neck. I ran in from outside. I'm wearing full Yankee gear to meet the GOAT. Do I have a picture of him and Susan? I should have that picture with him and Susan on in an album saved. Yeah, I don't think I have the picture with him and Susan. But yeah, that was he played me on air, but in the funniest way. I do have it. He said, well, it's not that much of a thrill. And then when you think about it, how many years have John and Susan done, spring training Yankee games? 2/3 of my life. 2/3 of my life, bro. John and Susan are the best, bro. I love them. I love them, bro. I love Susan. Never say anything bad about Susan, bro. Never say anything bad about Susan. Susan called me on the day that I dropped the video that I was stepping down, and we had a great conversation. I look forward to seeing Susan again. Susan was calling me this season when I was doing the Blue Jays Talk Plus Live. I was like a reoccurring guest on Blue Jays Talk Live, of course. The year they go to the World Series, I'm their like Yankee correspondent. And Susan was in Toronto on the way to the Rogers Center, and she's like, "I just saw you on TV out here." I'm like, "Yeah, I've been doing that." She's like, "You did great." She's like, "They love you." I'm like, "Yeah, they're cool, but like they're Blue Jays fans, so." All right, let's see what the chat is on. I just told some John Sterling, Susan Waldman stories. I think I got the chat going. Chris goes, "To be honest, FWFA and time to move on." Nah, we're not on that, bro. Like so many people would not be aware of me if I did not spend 4 years of time on WFAN. We can't do that. Let's see what's about to happen here in this game. 1st and 10, 1 minute left. Stafford. Man, I wanted him back bad. Yeah, a lot of people wanted Michael King back, that reunion, but we were not about to run him that bag. That play on Thursday Night Football by the Seahawks was insane. Yeah. Wow, missed it. Yo, what's good, Keith? NYCZ 94.6. Hanging out, still watching this Thursday Night Football game. Telling stories. That's what I do. Oh, Kobe Parkinson drops the ball. He has been trashed tonight. I fell for it. I fell for the waiver ad. Fell for the waiver ad. Adrian says, "Keith, how's Crystal?" She's good. I know I did a live where I said she had surgery on her knee and she had a setback where she had like, not like a mini heart attack. It's like pulmonary something. Like she said it felt like it was a mini heart attack. She had a blood clot in her knee go up to, her heart. So we had like a family scare with my mom going back to the hospital, but she's good now. She's back home recovering, and my sister will be here from LA on Monday. I'll pick her up from the airport, and then we'll all get together probably in the city on Tuesday. So thanks for asking. Crystal McPherson, my mom, she's in good spirits. She's healthy. Well, not all the way healthy. She kind of had her whole leg cut open, but she's doing better than she was on that night that I was telling you. Like, that day was crazy. That day, I was in the city all day. So crazy things happened that day. And I went to the studio in Brooklyn, and my mom texted me when I'm in the meeting, and she's like, "Can you talk?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm in a meeting, and you don't know what's going on." She was, I knew she was recovering because I had honestly stepped down, and I went to visit her like the next couple of days back where I'm from. She had surgery last month, like a couple of days before my last day on WFAN, and then I went down the next couple of weeks to visit her, and she had a little setback, but she's good, so no worries. No worries. But it's a scary thing, man. It's a scary thing if you, like, even thinking about your parents getting surgery or something happening to your parents or them going to the hospital, like, it gives you terrible thoughts. They're older, so like when you're dealing with older people, anything could happen, and there's just like this innate fear of like, oh no, hopefully things go the right way, and they did. She had good care, good doctors, and good people, friends that were there to assist, that were around her. Thank God, because I'm up here, taking care of my son and my wife, and literally trying to make it shake out here. Where, like I said, I'm in meetings. I was all the way in Brooklyn. Wasn't like I could leave Brooklyn and go home, get my car, and drive to her and take her to the hospital. Like, we're gonna go to OT. Okay. Apple user says, "Do you have a live schedule? Love listening to you." Okay, so I don't have a live schedule because, like, I don't want to start the live schedule and then have another schedule in 2026 and have to can it. But there is I do have conversations with people that are like, yo, consistency is key. You should set a live schedule. I kind of have a rhythm to where I've been going live. I've been doing a Monday live after the football games. I just started a Sunday live where I was giving out bets. The first bet I ever gave out cashed. I've been going live during any Amazon Prime Video, NBA or NFL game. So that's like Thursdays, Wednesdays, Tuesdays. I think it was Tuesday. I don't know. NBA Cup was yesterday? Yeah, I think NBA Cup. I don't know. But like what I'm saying is I don't want to put out a schedule and then have to be like, hey, I can't do it. I'm on WFAN. Hey, I can't do it. I'm on Yes Network. Hey, I can't do it. I'm on ESPN. Hey, I can't do it. I'm on SNY. Hey, I can't do it. I'm on NBC. Like what I want to tell people is that like the internet is here for all of us, and I'm blessed to have a little bit of a following and a little bit of knowledge of how to game the system. But I already have 11 years of work experience in New York. I have an agent. I have a resume, and like there's a good chance that I'm going to continue to work in that capacity. Like there are going to be bids for me to do radio or television. And I'm also still under contract at WFAN, where WFAN could be like, hey, here's our idea. This is what we want to do with you. So like I'm not really like rushing into being like, hey, Keith McPherson here. You can find me on TikTok every night from 8:30 to 11:30 p.m. Like, because then I don't want to have to put that out there and then take it back. M says, miss you on the fan. I need to have like in StreamYard I have sound effects. Like every time in StreamYard, someone says, miss you on the fan, I need to hit the like I don't know what sound effects should be the miss you on the fan.
Another one.
Miss you on the fan.
Another one.
Miss you on the fan.
Another one.
Let's see here. Larry says, you're off the fan? I'm from Rhode Island, but would listen late on Odyssey. Followed here. Thank you, Larry. I have been off the fan. Tomorrow will make 3 weeks. Yeah, tomorrow will make 3 weeks. Dun, dun, dun. Late career Sterling was something else. Yeah, John is old, though, man. You guys think Steve Summers is old. John is 10 years older than Steve Summers. God bless them both. I hope they live forever because I'll be sad. I was just talking about, thoughts about my mom. When Steve Summers and John Sterling time come, hopefully I'm still here for it. That's going to be sad. Thoughts on the Yankees offseason so far? I don't know. There's like $22 million is a waste for Trent Grisham. Brunson Burner says, so no Imai? I don't think so. I was telling y'all yesterday, I don't think so. I don't think so. Good run back to the 50-yard line. We're in overtime now. JW says, Keith, what's next for you, man? Hope you're doing well. I was always taught to never reveal half of what you know. And I do a lot of talking. I don't do a lot of revealing. I give you little crumbs. What's next for me is to continue to be who God made me to be and connect with as many people as possible and entertain some people and connect with some people and inspire some people and make some people hate. Make some people say, damn, I don't like this guy just because I don't like this guy. You think the Yankees will ever win the World Series with Boone and Cashman, in all honesty? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. I'm not gonna, pretend like I'm confident in next year. Or like I don't think Boone has that long. I think Boone has his next contract and he's done. And do I think they win in that time? No. It's also gonna be a lockout in there. Yeah. Pulmonary embolism. That's what Apple user. I said it, I couldn't think of it as a pulmonary embolism. Yeah. Dixie's back in the chat. Do you know DeAndre Mack? He's been all over TikTok recently. Are you DeAndre Mack or do you work for DeAndre? I do know DeAndre. And I remember you getting in the TikTok chat the other night asking about DeAndre. I got to text him and be like, do you know last name Normus, first name Dixie? Let me see the StreamYard chat now. Chat light. But views heavy. Chat is light, but the views are over 1,100 in Twitter, 11 on YouTube, 52 on TikTok. So somebody's hanging out. Somebody's watching. Overtime. Watching Stafford eludes the sack, throws it downfield. Oh, he misses a wide open receiver. Fajita says, you're the GOAT. Appreciate it, man. Depends who you ask. I think I'm goated. I think I got some more GOAT stuff to do to add to my greatness. I can't tell you all on, December 18th. But what I try to do is tell people my story of where I came from to now in hopes that they understand, like, it was harder for me then. It's not as hard now. Picked off? Almost picked off. Like, I put out that video today on my Twitter from 6 years ago. I was actually broke. I was actually fucking popped. Like, I remember overdrafting my account around Christmas because I bought some stuff and I had bills and I wasn't working. And I put that video out on Twitter today to say 6 years ago I was actually unemployed. I'm not unemployed. My contract is still good with WFAN. And I'm older than y'all realize. People are sending me Indeed.com and I'm replying NoNeed.com. I don't have to go on Indeed at this point. I haven't even had the thought to go look at job listings. I haven't even had the time to go look at job listings. When you get to a certain point of experience, resume, and career, especially in a market like New York and you're public facing, people come to you. People pitch opportunities and jobs to you. And most people that I'm talking to, I'm telling them, I'm still signed to WFAN. I just can't work in the middle of the night anymore. Can they throw the ball to Parkinson for the game-winning touchdown? Throw it to Kobe. Check down. And he's picked off. Did he pick it off or did he drop that? Wow. Stafford. It's not on him. That's on Blake Corum. Barre or Donovan's, what's the move? Barre over Donovan's. They're so far from each other. But I'll kick you a little story about that. While Prune Splat tells us his story, I'll tell you my story. So, my mom used to live off 9 Diane Drive, or at 9 Diane Drive off Old Corley's. So you can get from our old crib to Barre in 15 minutes. Barre is famous for Beat the Clock. Beat the Clock used to be at 8 o'clock, the beers are 25 cents. At 9 o'clock, the beers are 50 cents. 10 o'clock, the beers are 75 cents. 11 o'clock, the beers are $1. Then they switched it to the beer starting at 50, $1, $2, and then whatever. But what are we talking about, bro? I used to go in there with $40 and get trays of beers for everybody. Mad fun. I cannot tell you how many fun nights I had at Barre. I don't remember them, but here's a good one. I broke my foot when I was 21 in May. And it's a rite of passage in the Jersey Shore area that once you turn 21, that you got to go to Barre. And so days after I broke my foot, I'm in a walking boot in line at Barre. And my mom was so mad at me. She was so pissed off that I broke my foot fighting with my brother, drunk. And then I went to Barre like 4 days later for Beat the Clock because I'm just like, yo, I'm legal. I'm 21. Like, I gotta go. I'm not gonna not go. And my foot's in a boot. What's gonna happen? I'm gonna lug this shit around. And I had mad fun. But then my mom ended up kicking me out after that. And then I went off on a really ridiculous adventure that summer because I had a broken foot and I was like sleeping at my buddy's house. Now, Donovan's, fast forward to, if that was 20, I don't even know the years. Fast forward, I think the summer later. Yeah, the summer right after I broke my foot and went to Bar A, you know, because like once you can get into Bar A, why wouldn't you go? If you live in 15 minutes of Bar A and you're 21 and you're not going to Beat the Clock, you're stupid. At least back then. It's different now. Donovan's. I was a DJ. I used to DJ at Donovan's. Every Thursday I would DJ their beach party at Donovan's. And shout out to my wife, who is sleeping way back there. Let me check my phone, make sure I'm not too loud, and make sure she doesn't text me like, hey, bro, shut the fuck up. My wife at the time, I did not have a car or license. I had some things go on. I was a degenerate. I didn't have a car or license. But I had 2 turntables and a microphone, and I had 2 big powered speakers. I still have 2 big powered speakers, and I still have my DJ stuff here. One day you're going to see me on live DJing, maybe during the holiday season. And DJing was how I like literally made money. And my sister had a friend that worked at Donovan's and pitched them this party, and I went up to meet them. And the owner of Donovan's used to be a football official, a referee in the Shore Conference, and he remembered me from playing football. So he's like, yeah, Keith McPherson, good guy, come on. So I would do the Donovan's beach party Thursday from like 2 to 6 every Thursday. Wow, big play, Puka's going to score. That's game? That's not game. That's crazy, though. That went from what we thought was an interception. Puka had a monster game. With all of the talk around Puka and the anti-Semitic dance, him criticizing the officials, he came out and freaking balled on their ass. And Puka, who went to BYU, before he went to BYU, went to what school? University of Washington. Not too far from where the Seahawks play. Wow. Puka Nuka. Look at Pookie. Look at Pookie run this route. Gets to the top of the route, steps down on him. Comes flat. Stafford puts the ball on his fingertips. Cruises into the end zone. Wow. So yeah, Bar A or Donovan's. Bar A, they're like an hour from each other driving. But yeah, shout out to my wife. When that summer came, she told me, and she was underage at the time. I was 21. She was 19, I think. So, I mean, she didn't drink because she was driving. But like Donovan's was 21 and up only. But she would come drive me to Donovan's. I would set up my DJ stuff, and she would chill on the beach while I DJ for 4 hours and then drive me back home. And she's a smart girl. That was a good way for us to stay connected in the summer when school was out. And like, I'm a loyalty person as far as like, you do something for me, I do something for you. You do me a solid, I owe you a solid. You got my back, I got your back. And so I always had girls, but I never had a girl that I felt like was like invested in me like that. And so like I could tell she was different. I'm like, this girl is driving, and she was driving from Barnegat, New Jersey. She was driving from Ocean County to me and then driving me to DJ in Monmouth Beach. Like, that's a lot of driving. And so I was like, this chick is down for me. She's invested in me. She sees the vision. You see, that was mad long ago. That was like 15 years ago. My wife was like, he's good at DJing. He's good on the microphone. I'm going to help him out. I'm going to make sure he gets to where he's got to go. And now look, now she got a whole kid off me. I got a whole kid off her. Donovan's is great. They remodeled it. I haven't been since they remodeled it. It got destroyed. That was pre Hurricane Sandy. It's different now. I don't know what it looks like so much now. I think I've seen pictures. I think it's better now. So yeah. Yours said Barre or Donovan's, what's the move? Both. They're different vibes. They're different vibes. And they're in completely different places in Monmouth County. Oh, in the StreamYard chat. Keith saying before the game wouldn't go to OT. I don't listen to me. What do I know? I'm just a fired radio host. What do I know? The real one's still here with you. Yeah, JP. Inevitable. Appreciate it, bro. We all hanging out. I broke my ankle drunk at 12, laughing my ass off. I broke my whole foot, bro. Like, I was like, so dumb. Honestly, that's what ended my football career. Because I broke my foot in May of my redshirt junior year. And I was in line to be probably the fourth receiver on the team. And then, like, if you're fourth receiver goes down, you're third receiver. Like, I was in the mix to be one of the traveling receivers on the team. But I broke my foot in May. And then when camp started, 3 months later, I was not full speed. I was not good. It's not good to go, man. I was not good to go. So that season, I rode Pine. And by the time my foot was healed, I was not in favor with the coaches. Shout out to Coach Callahan, who just retired and hung it up, called it a career after 33 years. I was not in favor with the coaches, and I was in favor on campus. I was DJing. I was buying kegs. I was throwing parties. I had the football house that was furthest away from campus, and we threw ridiculous parties, and I had a basement where I would DJ down there. We would get 2 kegs sometimes. Salacious things would go on, and I was not in favor with the coaching staff, so they were not trying to put me on the field, and I knew. So then my next year, I dropped out, and I gave my scholarship back for what would have been my redshirt senior season. People are like, you're crazy. What are you doing? You gave your scholarship back? You quit the football team? I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm good. I don't want to do that anymore. Like, do you guys like running at 5 a.m. when it's freezing cold out in the winter for conditioning, and then having to go lift or go to study hall and then go eat and go to class all day and then go to practice or weightlifting or some type of tutor or something? Like, football sucked in college. Caught. Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp. Yo, shout out for all the gifts, all the TikTok gifts. I'm seeing them now. They're rolling. I gained 27 followers off this live, 13,000 likes off this live. Appreciate it. I'm doing something right. Got 4 diamonds, 4,000 diamonds. Estimated this live, $16.12. Dope. $16.12 off this live. I don't know, like, all this stuff's monetized. It's not crazy money, but it's money. A day still here, bro. Also, did you grow up playing any old school games, PS1 or GameCube? Yeah, I had both of those. I used to play Mario Party. I used to play Super Mario. I don't think they're trolling. The Mets aren't trolling. They're just one man's trash is another man's treasure. They're not trolling anybody. Like, if if the Mets are trolling anybody, they're trolling their fans because they're picking up Yankee scraps. And it just like, even though the Yankees aren't doing anything, this whole offseason, the Yankee fan has just been laughing at the Mets. Like Devin Williams, Luke Weaver, go ahead and get Cody Bellinger now. You might as well. You might as well. I suck at fantasy. They're about to. At least Charbonnet's in the game and not Kenneth Walker. Because if they gave Kenneth Walker the ball again, another touchdown, that would be disaster for me. It's already disaster for me because I got 4 points from Colby Parkinson. Sucks. I tweaked. I need a miraculous comeback. I need Dak to ball out. I need George Pickens to ball out. I need Amon-Ra St. Brown to ball out. I need Josh Dobbs to ball out. I need Travis Etienne to ball out. I need Jameson Williams to ball out. I need those guys to save me in fantasy. But yeah, did you play PS1? Yeah. Played everything on there. Tekken, Need for Speed. What I always tell Madden, what I always tell people is, like, we were pop, bro. And when you don't have that much bread, your parents can give you ultimatums. A day says, we talking Mets? Let's do it. Yeah, we will. I got the ultimatum from my mom. You want clothes or you want video games? And I wanted clothes. My logic was the clothes don't leave, or the clothes leave the house. The video games don't. Wow. Touchdown. Jackson Smith and Jigba. Are they going to go for it? They're going to go for it. They're going to go for the win. All right, here it is, folks. This is the big play right here. And Jigba's in the game. Is Charbonnet in the game? I wouldn't throw it. I try and run it. I try and line them up and just hammer it home for 2 yards. Charbonnet is in the game, and Jigba's in the game. Barner's in the game. Cooper Kupp is in the game. Timeout. Good. In a way, they try to ice him like a kicker. We're going to ice you, let you think about it a little more. Play action fake. Steps up right there. Boom. That's on a line. That's a rope. That's what they call a dime. Wow. Sam Darnold. I take it back. Damn, Darnold. Respect. I hit him with the damn Darnold, like, damn, Daniel. Back at it again with the all-white Vans. Damn, Darnold. Let's see if he can do it here. They're going to throw the ball. I would run it, though. I'm shook. Timeout? Seattle takes the timeout now. Seattle takes the timeout now. They want to check to a different play. G to the R says, yo, bro, but the Yankees haven't done anything. What's up with that? The Yankees have signed Ahmed Rosario. The Yankees have signed Ryan Yarbrough. The Yankees allowed Trent Grisham to take the qualifying offer. It's mid. What do you expect? I wasn't expecting anything. They made all of the moves. They think they're good with the team they got. They think they're better by not re-signing Devin Williams and Luke Weaver, and I tend to agree. I don't think they're getting Imai, bro. I think the Cubs got a leg up in that game. All right, here we go, folks. Here it is. 3 receivers. And now they bring everybody to the right. Motion Barner in. He's got him there. Wow. What a game. What a game. They go to the second tight end underneath. Darnold looks him off. Walk-off winner. The 12th man roars in Seattle, the Pacific Northwest. The quote-unquote best team in the NFL by so many, the Rams, they go in there and they lose. And how about that for Seattle as well? they lose in the American League Championship Series against the Blue Jays after Cal Raleigh has a great year. They lose in the MVP. They're rallying around Sam Darnold and this Seahawks team tonight. So good for those folks out there in the Pacific Northwest. I loved it out there in the Emerald City. I loved it out there in Seattle when I went. They got a lot of good things going for them out there. So now they got a football team that they believe in. They just beat the best team in the NFC. They're going to start talking Super Bowl. They've been there multiple times before. All right, we've been here multiple times before, man. I got to go to bed. Let's wrap up this chat as they wrap up this game. Man, I just always start with the same things. Appreciate y'all. Even the people that pop up in the chat to be like, yo, this guy sucks. This guy got fired from WFAN. What a fall from grace from WFAN to doing his basement. This is not my basement. From being on WFAN to 40 people watching. I do not care about any of that shit, bro. Thank you. Like, whether you gave me this last minute or you gave me the entire night, which I know there's people that actually are in here that watch from 8:20 when I was saying my son was going to sleep and I got to be quiet and the game was starting. I was trying to get the scoreboard operated. To right now, I'm an open book. I tell the truth always because I don't fear anything. People that lie, they're afraid. They don't tell the truth because they live in fear. I don't live in fear of anything. I'm blessed to be who I am. So you guys stay blessed, stay up, and stay ready so you ain't got to get ready, man. We'll do this again. I'm not sure when. We're getting close to the holidays. So I don't know when I'm going to go live again. But, I just am really thankful for the community that has been built over these last 3 weeks and really the last 4 years because a lot of you have come here from what I did on the radio and clearly I did my job because if I didn't, nobody would care. I love sports. I love talking to people. I'm a regular guy like you, regular fan like you. And I just happen to know what to do with these microphones and lights and cameras and things. So hopefully I helped you enjoy your night and maybe told a story or two that you could relate to or made you think or whatever. And Sam Darnold and the Seahawks are victorious over the Rams. And I'm definitely going to take an L in fantasy, and that's okay. All right, I'll see you guys on the next one. And make sure you hit like on your way out on YouTube. Subscribe. If you're on Twitter, hit like on the tweet. And if you're on TikTok, if you're on TikTok, just hit like or send a gift badge or do whatever they do. NYCCT. Let me look at this freaking guy. Exactly. I just look at this guy's picture. He goes, "You seem like an angry dude." Yeah. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. All right. TikTok's closed because there's too many goofies on TikTok. You know what TikTok reminds me of? Now we should do this. This is what I'm gonna do too. Like I'm gonna start doing like I remember my boy Joe's did this, right? Like you act like you're gonna end the live. You act like you're gonna end the live and then you just switch up the vibe. And so eventually when I do like members, eventually when I do like an exclusive like Patreon or I don't know, I'll probably never get around to doing that because like I don't want people to pay. If you want to throw a super chat, like my boy a day threw a $19.99 super chat just off the strength, showing love. Like that's cool. But like what we'll do is like we'll start to do like a after. No, I was about to call it after hours. That's Tommy Lugauer's thing. Can't call it after hours. But we'll start to do like a post game, exactly, right. You see if people fall off, people leave. I ended it on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? You end it on certain platforms, but then it's like, all right, the real ones stay. Then you start getting into like some other conversation. But I would make it where it's like exclusive. I would make it where it's like, yo, like, let me see what I got here. I got some stuff cooking. Like, some of y'all probably missed the intro.
Sports Network right here. Fandom Acts of Kindness hooking us up right here.
Yeah, he's excelled at every level, and they told this kid, hey, you have the opportunity to win the job in camp. So, like, you got to put Judge in this category. When you're talking about the most impressive season since, like, you got to put A-Rod. Like, format, this first year, the new format, the Beast of the East, the Yankees crushed the best division in baseball. McPherson, WFAN, on stage.
Hey, Keith Mack, man. Big fan.
Let's go. Or maybe I'll hit y'all with the mic check, mic check. Look, let me tell you about my life. Like, look,